Wow, hello, everybody. It's me, it's Andy, the K down here with the Moonbase 2 pre-show with Big D. Hello, Big D, pre-D.
Hey man, how you doing?
Not too bad, and yourself?
Yeah, I'm getting there.
I keep
Painkillers are kick.
seeing on Facebook, newspaper sites on Facebook threatening the North with oncoming winter snowstorms. They've been threatening us with another big snowstorm for about 2 weeks now.
I mean, to be fair, they've been threatening the southwest of that as well, and
I think it's just everywhere. They're like, another big storm's coming. Oh, it's coming. Oh, it's coming. When?
I mean,
Oh,
poke
it's
your heads out,
coming.
and it's like, where, when?
Yeah, it's just another big storm's coming sometime. I'm like, I don't know. It feels like it's gotten warmer recently. Not massively warmer, but since we
It,
had the snowstorm like
mm,
two,
it's
3 weeks ago.
yeah, it's been averaging around, well, kind of maxing out about 10 degrees a lot of the time. I've noticed
Yeah, which
when I've
is
been out of my car.
that's
So
about what you would kind of expect for this time of year, I'd say. It's nothing too
yeah,
crazy, just like grey and wet. Now, I could be wrong, and we could see some horrible weather reasonably soon, but I don't think so. I wouldn't be surprised if it's just newspapers just going crazy, like, ooh,
yeah. I
meteorite's
mean,
gonna hit the planet soon. It's like, yeah, when?
don't tempt us with a good time.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, honestly, here we tend to get snow. What, end of Feb? Just as March kind of hits its peak, and then
Yeah,
things
February's
just
the
fall.
weird month.
Yeah.
February, you can just get go and shit its pants for no particular reason, and I assume that's just because it's February.
Hey, I was born. Well, I was born on the 29th of February, so that's weird in itself. But still,
Are you insulted by the fact that I insulted the month that you were born?
I mean, it's an odd month, but then uh, it, our calendar is weird anyway.
It
Given
is.
it's a mashup of Roman, Norse, and some other weird stuff that got jammed together.
Yeah. Interesting calendar. It's the world's calendar now. Capitulate world. That's how it works.
Well, that's what happens when empire happens. Sadly,
Hell yeah. Fuck yeah. Best empire in the world, baby. Heck yeah.
I mean, in fairness, we learned the lessons of all ones that came before us.
Yeah, well, mostly. There's still
Well,
mistakes made, but it was better
oh yes,
than
lots
other
of
ones,
mistakes, but
certainly.
we were making new and exciting mistakes, and
Yes.
I appreciate that phrase is doing an awful lot of lifting.
Yes. Do you always
My
wonder
goodness.
how previous empires would have viewed the British Empire? Just they would have been like amazed by how vast it was.
Well,
They wouldn't have been able to conceive of it. Like Alexander the Great couldn't have conceived how far the British Empire would have stretched.
oh no, but in his time, he was himself. He literally went as far as anyone really could.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah. He wanted to go further, but there was not the technology to do it.
Technology, supply lines, and the fact that because his was different in that was purely based on his cult of personality.
Mm-hmm.
And it was based on people's loyalty to him. And by the time they got to India, there'd been like 10 years of non-stop campaigning with one, pretty much this single force effectively. And that he had veterans who just wanted to go home.
Lame. Well, wasn't his
And
greatest mistake that he didn't set up the next ruler?
yeah, pretty much.
It's
Yeah.
like,
He,
man,
he,
you had one thing
because
to do. You say, this guy leads once I'm dead. That's all you had to do, my dude.
yeah, he had no line of succession. His generals basically, the most successful of his generals afterwards was, I think it was Ptolemy who established the Ptolemaic line of pharaohs in Egypt,
Mm,
which ended with Cleopatra,
yeah.
which is really interesting. The fact that Egypt has basically the Egyptian pharaohs and then the Greek pharaohs.
Yeah, it's
The Greek
weird.
ones are the ones we tend to remember, but then Egypt's weird because Egypt had archaeologists in what we consider pretty ancient times, because that's how long Egypt's time was. Long enough that they could start doing archaeology on themselves.
Yeah, Egypt's been ruled by a lot of different kinds of people as well. It's an
Oh yeah,
interesting place.
yeah. Egypt's fascinating.
Yeah.
Just it's, and the fact that a lot of their, for a long time, they were ruled by a culture that originated in Sudan. So,
Yeah, yeah. It's bizarre.
it's just fascinating how things evolve, and there's periods that we still have no fucking clue about because they're so deep in history and the records just don't exist anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, it's unfortunately
Sorry.
history is lost unless you store it in some kind of way.
Yeah, sorry, but this is Big D's archaeology hat coming out to play.
That's
So
fine. Have you ever been to Egypt though?
I haven't. That's the really annoying thing. I mean,
Because I bet you would like. I mean, just as you were talking, I could imagine you would enjoy going to the Great Pyramid, but would also
oh yeah,
hate it because it looks
oh
very
yeah,
cramped and unpleasant to kind of walk through and then get out of as well. But it looks really interesting to be there as well.
I mean, I'd probably want to visit something like Giza or the Valley of the Kings more than anything.
Oh, the famous Transformers filming site.
Well,
Revenge of the Fallen.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've had some great movies here. We've also had Revenge of the Fallen. Yeah. Oh, well, you can't all be winners. Well, talking of Revenge of the Fallen, we may as well get the ball rolling and start talking about some Transformers.
It's a smooth segue. I like it.
Yeah, you know. All right, I'm going to hit the music and then we can start rocking and rolling.
Hoo-yah.
Music time.
Welcome to Moonbase 2.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Moonbase 2 podcast. My name is Andy Decade Andy. We are here with Big D. Hello, Big D.
Hey-oh.
We are traveling back in the way machine to 2010, according to the TF
Oh, no.
Wiki. Oh, yes. Well, things were still nice then in 2010. Looking at the Hunt for the Decepticon line and a bit of the Reveal Shield line. I mentioned this to Big D before the show, but for those that are not aware, Hunt for the Decepticons is kind of the lingering remains, the death roll of the Revenge of the Fallen line. So there's stuff in here that is that's already being covered in previous shows and repaints and stuff like that. So we won't be covering those, but we will cover the stuff we haven't covered, even though on screen it says Legends figures. We're not talking about those Legends figures. We're going to be talking about the Reveal the Shields, which was the next Toy Lines line, because their Reveal the Shields, their Legends figures, I think were a bit more interesting, to be honest, because they were based off of G1 designs rather than the attempt of making very complex Revenge of the Fallen movie designs in a... How much were Legends then? Like £6?
Ooh. Yeah, Baba, yeah.
Something like that, yeah. Yeah, that scale and that kind of price point. So I think there's also the scouts from Reveal the Shield in here as well, again, because there's just not enough to talk about for just Hunt for the Decepticon, though I don't think we're going to be talking about all of Reveal the Shield. I'm pretty sure. But soon, Big D, if you think about it, soon we're getting close to the point where we'll be talking about Combiner Wars, which doesn't feel that long ago, but it is.
It doesn't, but when you think about it, it really is, isn't it?
Yeah.
That was so bizarre to realize. It's like, hang on, do the math. Oh my god.
Yeah, I was actually
like
thinking to myself while having a poo, looking out from my ensuite to my Transformers collection in my bedroom, and thinking, I think the last line I fully went in on was Titan's Return, you know? I think that was the last Transformers toy line I went super hard in, as like I was getting all the figures as soon as they were coming out, mostly because I was getting them from Japan, neither here nor there. But for the most part, I had most of the full wave, and I think that was, or the full line, I think that was the last line of Transformers I went that hard for.
Well, it's funny because I'd gone hard into Combiner Wars just because it was nice to have the teams available.
It was the first combiners that we'd had, like real combiners, since Energon?
Yeah. And
I think
they had the Scramble City gimmick effectively, so they were all swappable.
Yep.
And the limbs themselves were actually, for the most part, were all kind of good things to play with. They were fun toys to play with. I think there was only maybe 2. I think Brawl and the Brawl mold and the
Wheeljack, whoever Wheeljack was originally for Breakdown.
Yes, for Breakdown mold. Those were the only really 2 bad ones that might even be called bad.
Yeah.
And even then, they still had a lot going for them.
And
just not enough to offset.
We'll definitely be talking about that.
Oh,
and
yes.
We'll talk about their horrific QC as the line went on.
Oh, yes. Yeah, but because I'd gone so hard, I kind of I'd kind of pulled back with Tantric Return because I didn't really think I wanted to get into it. And but then I went to Roll Out Roll Call.
Oh no!
And it was for weekend.
Which one? Whereabouts was it?
It was for one in
somewhere else.
It was one in Hounslow, down London way.
Oh,
by Heathrow. And it was they had literally just had the first wave. I think Kapow just had the first wave of Time's Return come in, and they had them at the show. So I grabbed Hardhead because he was the only one of the only headmasters I had as a kid. I'd always kind of dug him. And a few other bits and pieces as well. A couple of Titan Master sets and some other bits. And I was like, oh no, I actually quite like these.
They got you.
Yeah, they did.
They got you.
They did. They did.
Well, we're going to be starting off today talking about, as I mentioned, Reveal the Shield. And we're starting off with the Legends class figures. And it's going to be Bumblebee, little tiny Bumblebee. So a Legends figure. We hadn't had a G1 style Bumblebee this small, because this is about the same size as G1 for a while. The last, I think Bumblebee before that, if I scroll back up. Oh no, this was a repaint of seemingly the Universe one, which we had. I don't think we talked about that, had we?
No, we hadn't done, no.
Well, doesn't matter, it's here and there. The this version of Bumblebee for the 2010/2011 Reveal the Shield line, he was Golden Bumblebee. So he's just the same Bumblebee, just what if he were gold, pretty much. A nice little Bumblebee, not too complicated.
No, not at
too
all.
crazy. Had the reveal, because if you didn't know, Reveal the Shield's main gimmick was they went, we're not going to do a real gimmick, we're going to just do the old Transformer gimmick of having a heat rub symbol on top of them, which was fine.
Yeah.
Wasn't intrusive at all. Did you have this mold, Big D? I would imagine you probably did.
Weirdly, I don't think I did have this one because it was at a time I didn't really go in for a lot of the Legends class around that time. I got a few of the Scout class for the larger ones, but for Legends itself, I didn't really go in very much for. So
did they just not interest you? Were they too small, too simple kind of thing?
I think it was a little bit of that, and also I was trying to stick to the deluxe kind of size as my baseline, and I'd quite liked how Bumblebee had been how his deluxe for classics had turned out.
I mean, that was a great figure even back then.
Yeah.
I mean, even now it's still a good toy, I'd say.
Yeah, and I think part of me was probably a little. I understand my thinking looking back on it. I was thinking that these were probably, although they were actually quite good figures. They didn't click for me because they were a bit too simple.
Okay, that makes sense.
And I just didn't really have, my collection wasn't a Legends collection,
Yeah.
I've got bits and pieces now that are Legends size. I've got a few Iron Factory and some other odd bits and pieces that probably filled a niche. But it wasn't really where my collection was.
That's fair.
So
I'm pretty sure I was picking them up just because the way they were cheap. And if I went into Asda or something, I was like, oh, there's nothing new. Oh well, no, I don't have this. So
I mean, the fact that they were cheap though, and just looking at B, he's got quite a lot going for him. All right, sure, there's no elbows in there, but it looks like he's got articulated hips.
Yes.
Did he have knees, or is that just no? So the legs are a bit weird.
If you look at the way the legs are, it's almost like he's leaning, like his knees are almost bending the wrong way if you look at it.
Yeah, yeah, that's what was throwing me. The pictures looked like though, but he's still got hips.
Yes,
on ball joints, which in a Legends size figure, that's actually a genuinely good thing to have, even though this guy was like 2-3 years old by this point for mold.
And his arms could turn around. Like, again, these
Yeah.
things were not for articulation. They were perfectly competent, but you wouldn't like write home about it and go, wow, this is crazy. I'm pretty sure his his shoulders were on ball joints as well, but not to any, again, kind of crazy degree of articulation, but you could swivel them around and whatnot. It's just a perfectly fun little transformation.
Yeah. And like you said, you can see the DNA there but it clearly pretty much the same transformation in a lot of ways to the classic figure, just in the basic layout.
Well, here's the thing I'll throw out to you. For figures this size, I don't think articulation is that important, and I'll clarify why I don't think it is. Mainly because when you get to this kind of scale and you start fiddling around with too much articulation,
It can get fragile.
Not just fragile, but they can be fiddly to pose. And I think back to like
That's fair.
the War for Cybertron Micromasters, where they've got ball joints in their elbows and shoulders and everywhere, and it's almost too much for a figure that size. When you just for a figure this size, in my eyes, it's just something you want to very quickly pick up and fiddle with, like a Micromaster, like an original Micromaster.
That's fair. I mean, for Micromasters, they had gotten a bit more engineering there, so I do get what you're saying completely there. I do like the fact they did try and put as much as they could into those, but in some cases they put stuff in what could also be argued for wrong places in some instances. But I understand what you mean about this line at this scale, where there comes a point where you just want it to be fun to fidget with.
Yeah.
And you don't want it to be fiddly. You want it to be one that you can actually. You want it to be simple, clean, no fuss, no muss.
In my mind, it would be like, imagine trying to add ball joints and articulation to a Warhammer miniature figure. You could, but should you? And the answer, in my eyes, is probably no. You could, but no. That's why I like these. Like, that's why Scout was a good class as well, because it was a bigger figure and it had more articulation, and it was kind of justified more articulation because it was a bigger figure that you could fiddle with a little bit more easily.
Yeah.
And again, for £6, this is clearly a young kids line. This is something, hope to a point.
Oh, absolutely.
You don't want these kids eating these toys, which they still could do, I suppose. But the less bits of articulation they have, the more solid, just bigger pieces, which I would imagine would cut down on swallowing. Yeah, and I think this is a good size for this kind of simplicity. Like throttle bots are a good example of like bad simplicity. And you could take that kind of idea of the throttle bots from G1 and magnify that to a lot of the kids lines that we've got more today, where you've got like really big, tall kids figures, but there's just nothing to them and they're just hollow.
Yeah.
Where you have something smaller, can be less hollow, but still fairly simple. That's just the way I look at these things. That's why I kind of like them, and B's a good example of that.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if this figure was generally available today, or this mold, I'd happily have bought this and a few repaints or reshells for my nephew.
Well,
quite
it
happily.
was redone a few times. I mean, this mold, according to the TF Wiki, was done for, hey, come back, 2008, which is the one we talked about, 2011 here for Golden Bumblebee, Dark of the Moon. What does he look like? Oh, it's just another. He came in a big 5-pack. It was another Bumblebee that was similar-ish colors. They've painted the inside of the arms silver. He's got some black details on the front of his car mode. No rub symbol, but a big Autobot insignia, and then randomly some red or orange trim, like around the bottom of the car doors and around the wheels and around the black bit.
Oh, they did this with B a few times. They tried to give him a bit of that Camaro detailing on the non-Camaro body types, and it doesn't always work, does it?
Yeah, well, this is the Dark of the Moon Cyberverse pack, so clearly they took this figure and went, well, I guess we can give him the movie color scheme. And it's like, well, yeah, I suppose. You can.
Yeah.
You're more than willing, more than able to. Apparently that figure was again done in that kind of color scheme, but very slightly different in 2012, where they removed the Autobot insignia on the top of his chest, and it looks like it's the same figure otherwise. There's the 2014 Bumblebee and Cliffjumper, which is
Oh,
again similar to the previous one we talked about, but they have seemingly changed the shins to being yellow and the thighs to being gray, and then there's a black
yeah.
Autobot insignia on this chest, and then no red trim detail over the wheels and the door and whatnot. So again, it's a very slight tweaking of the color scheme. You must have to be a
Hmm.
really fucking boring Transformers collect if you want to have all versions of Bumblebee when there are this many minor tweaks to them. Jesus. The Cliff Jumper, obviously, you can guess what this is. It's the figure, but Cliff Jumper colors. Fair enough. Nothing too crazy there. And then Takara Tomy did the Henke version, which there was the C18 Cliff Jumper, which, again, you can assume that is Cliff Jumper, but in arguably more accurate TV colors. Then there was the Takara Tomy Chronicle Bumblebee, which seems to be another just yellow Bumblebee, but with a, I don't know, cartoon esque insignia of an Autobot insignia on his roof. And then there's the Easy Collection EG02 Bumblebee, which is that figure again. It seems like just sold individually. So it got its work out for it for one little mold.
Absolutely.
One little
I'd say-
mold. It got used way
I-
more
I
times than
quite-
I thought.
Yeah, I quite like the Cliff Jumper decos. That's quite nice, actually.
Which one? The Henke one or
for-
the
yeah,
American
for
one?
the Minibot Attack Team multi-pack version, yeah. That kind of works for me as Cliff. That's
Yeah.
not a bad take on him.
No, it's not bad.
But-
No, it's about
Yeah, I mean,
what you'd expect.
it's a fun little toy. And for this particular one we're talking about, for Gold Bumblebee, I like that he's got a lot of the colours of Goldbug.
Hmm.
And even if the gold is more of a toffee, it's still quite a nice, rich colour, you know?
It's
It
close
works.
enough to be Goldbug, but without them having to do a new head mold from, because
Yes.
clearly Gold Bumblebee is Goldbug.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only negative, the fact that
Yeah.
it's got the same head as B. And you know what? At this point, it's not something to get up. Especially for this line, where a lot of these legends were redecos. So it was trying to get an extra wave of the line in. So you can forgive them that. It's fun.
I think one reason why the head isn't remolded is looking at images. It looks like, and from what I remember, which is not much, it looks like the head is molded onto the chest piece. So if you were going to have to,
I was
remold
thinking
the
that. I was
head-
going to ask if,
Yeah,
if that was the case.
there's no head articulation. I definitely remember
Hmm.
that. So I'm going to assume it is molded into another part of the figure. So if it is the chest as
Yeah.
well, you'd need to remold quite a large piece of the toy
Hmm.
for one thing. So yeah, they weren't going to do that. We don't get Bug Bite at this point. There's no Bug Bite repaint. There's no Evil Bumblebee repaint, because Evil Bumblebee happened in Dark of the Moon, and I guess they
Hmm.
hadn't realized how cool that color scheme was for Bumblebee. But it's not a bad little figure.
Yeah.
There's also the Starscream figure from 2010. For a Seeker jet at a legend scale.
It's not bad, is it?
It's pretty good. It's pretty damn good. It's not
Yeah.
perfect, obviously, articulation wise. It's a bit ropey. He's not got the exact silhouette of Starscream, and mainly that's because his little bits next to the side of his head are rather small and stunted. And it doesn't quite look like an F-15 jet, but I say that's close enough again for this scale. Apparently, there were two versions of the figure as well. For some reason, one with a black helmeted head, which is the standard look, and then one with an unpainted grey version. I'm not sure why, but okay. What do you think of
Yeah,
this one, Big D? Because I assume you haven't had this one.
No, again, hadn't had it, but looking at it now with hindsight, I quite like this. I mean, they've given him that classic screamer smirk, which is great.
Yes, an expression, something that you
Yeah.
sometimes don't get with modern day Transformers, sadly enough.
Absolutely. The null rays, the fact that they fold out, they're on a joint, that's kind of funky. I dig that.
Can you see whereabouts they're on the jet mode?
I was looking and trying to work out. Oh wait, are they the they're the center beams behind the
They
cockpit,
are.
aren't they?
Yeah, it's a really
That's
neat idea.
yeah, that's clever. I like that.
I don't
That's
think we've ever seen that before because the thrusters, the engines of the jets are basically his arms, and then the null rays kind of fold like that. It's really
that,
really neat.
that tends to be something you see more in Macross Veritex than anything else.
That's true. Yeah, yeah.
That sort of configuration.
Maybe
So,
a couple of negatives I'd throw out with this mold is he does have big pin joints that are very, very visible in the jet mode.
Yeah.
4 of them in total. They're very obvious, which is a bit of a shame.
Mm.
You can tell where his head is, and having the nose cone on the back of his head always looks weird. And it means that on the underside of the jet, you see his little face kind of looking at you, and then his thighs don't really tuck under the wings, so there's just this big block of gray plastic that kind of breaks the silhouette of the jet mode, which is a shame because if they could have, there's no room to hide it, unfortunately. But if they could have tucked that away somehow or made the wings a little bit bigger or something like that, it would have been a really solid little jet mode with not too much undercarriage, reasonably.
No, it's one of those designs where you kind of would have liked to see them return to it to try and evolve it a little bit more. You know, to finesse it a
maybe
bit.
the transformation idea. You mean like maybe beef it up to like deluxe scale and see what they could do with it then?
Oh yeah, that could actually work. Be an interesting one, yeah.
Yeah, maybe
But-
don't make it Starscream. Maybe to make it a different jet, not like Thundercracker or someone like that. A different jet, like do a cyber jet or someone like that, where the stakes on making him perfect are a lot lower. You don't need to worry about it as much, and you could
Absolutely.
fiddle around with an idea there. That could be fun. Yeah.
No, I like this. There's interesting engineering in place, and the actual robot mode, not perfect like you say, but again, for this price point, that's not a bad Starscream.
I didn't have this figure, but looking at it, I wouldn't be surprised if he's back heavy.
Oh yes, that would not surprise me either, to be fair.
It completely depends how big the backs of his ankles are. Like how far back do they go? And for those that aren't looking at the stream or haven't seen this figure before, the main reason is because the wings on his back are quite big, and it looks like they could be messing up the center of gravity. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see if any of the others have pictures of any of the repaints have pictures of his heel spurs, and it doesn't look like there is much of one.
That's what I was thinking. I had a feeling they might be quite short, I suppose.
However, although, like you say, you do have the wings, that's a solid chunk effectively. So basically you have the wings. Actually, yeah, it's basically just the wings is one piece, but it's actually quite a flat piece.
It is a flat piece.
Because if you look at it, the arms, they're not on the back, they're his arms. You've got a bit of the nose cone poking out the back, but I think, am I right in saying that the nose assembly actually slides down to fit into the chest cavity?
No, the nose cone's literally on the back of his head.
No, not part. I know that, but I meant to actually get his head lined up with the chest. Do you get what I mean?
Oh, I see what you're saying. So what I would imagine is, if you look at the jet mode, imagine I think that there might be like a pin near where the null rays are, and then you fold that whole centerpiece upwards, or something like that. Again, this is just a guess, but because it's a small figure, I think that's probably how it would work. I don't think it would slide. I think it would be a simpler kind of system than that.
But what I mean is, I don't think he's got as much back cable as we think, because the wings themselves are quite a flat piece.
They are. It's just mainly my concern is how far back they are on the figure and how big they are. Obviously, they're not going to weigh a huge amount, but depending on how big the heel spurs are, just knocking off the center of gravity a little bit can obviously throw a figure off completely. Mr. White sends a message saying, I have several of this Screamer, having found a random box of them on clearance and snapped them up. Do you remember how big the heel spurs were, Mr. White, out of interest? But there were also... why is it... I love it when you go back on TF Wiki and it puts you in a completely different area than you were. What if I just refresh the page? And hopefully that'll take me back. Okay, so this sculpt was, you might be surprised, Big D. This sculpt was redecoed and retooled to make Chronicle Thundercracker. I think those are two separate things, but I imagine they're the same figure. And Skywarp, as well as Generations Thundercracker. What the fuck? Why did it switch me? It's the page just shunted me up. Okay, never mind. As well as Generations Thundercracker and Transformers 2014 Skywarp. So they were used a couple more times, but not for anything too crazy. Just a Thundercracker and Skywarp. Two from Japan, one from Japan, one from America.
Honestly, I'm kind of surprised they didn't try and get more Seekers out of this.
Same. Maybe because they're like little ones, maybe they didn't want to spend too much money. It's like they realize there's only so much appeal for a figure this big, I guess.
Yeah, but I mean, I think this was around the time that I'm trying to remember. Just 2014 was kind of around when Legion got kind of phased out more or less. I remember. So we had more of the scout class than anything, or what became core class.
Yeah.
And Legion kind of got pushed back to the back burner a bit. But no, I like it. I again, this is one that if it had been if I'd been collecting this scale, this time, I'd be quite happy to have a full set of Seekers in this size.
And it seems like there's no real difference between the Japanese versions of Thundercracker and Skywarp to the American ones, really, to be honest.
Yeah, that's quite a surprise, to be fair.
Yeah, the biggest difference seems like Thundercracker does have a insignia on his wings compared to two of them, compared to the Japanese one or the American one, and that's about it. The Japanese...
and I think Skywarp, the American one's got a deeper purple, whilst the Japanese one's a little more towards the lilac tones.
Yeah, it's very minor though. In terms of actual detail, they're pretty similar.
Absolutely, yeah.
Mr. White says, sadly, no. They were packed up with the rest of my stuff. Oh, okay, fair enough. Fair play, Mr. White. So that was Starscream. Then there was Trailbreaker, who's a little bit of a chunky boy. But he's got some character. I don't think I had this one either. But I will say I do think the car trailer mode is quite nice. A good representation. His robot mode is only really weak, I think, in the arms, I would say.
I'd say so. And that, to me, that's more because of how they join to the body at the shoulders and anything.
Agreed. Yeah, because it is just a peg and ball joint. So the arm, they come out at a really thin point from the body. It makes them look like they're not really attached in some ways. Not really. Like they're two separate things rather than conducive to the rest of the design.
Yeah. Because there is a lot of detail on the actual arms themselves.
Yeah.
But because of the nature of trail cutter as this is, because licensing. But I mean, this is our first trail cutter in donkey's years.
Was it the first trail cutter since? Yes, it was. Apart from an encore version. Oh no, the universe.
They did the Thrilling 30 trail cutter in deluxe scale.
No, that was later. That was 2013. This was 2011.
Oh yeah, sorry. I thought you meant afterwards. Was this the only trail?
No. This was the first trail cutter we had since
G1.
Yeah, or if you want to be finagly, Universe, when they did a repaint of another figure, one of the GoBot dudes. Yeah, looking at this, there are not a lot of trail breakers, really.
No, it's weird given. I always remember he was one of the ones that kind of got a bit of a spotlight in the original pilot for Transformers, and was given some quite funky abilities with his whole energy shield thing.
Maybe that was the problem.
Yeah, and then they made it kind of a bit of a gag in more than meets the eye.
A little bit, yeah.
Which I mean, they used to actually give him some personality.
But for a Little Legends figure, Like I say, I don't remember having this one specifically, but I mean, he looks fairly nice, fairly tidy for the
Yeah.
most part. It doesn't look like he was really ever. He was redecoed into roll bar, apparently.
Oh.
Was he? Well, I clicked on the link, and it didn't do anything. The same
Oh, I
hybrid
think.
head design had been previously used by Dan for the 3H Universe comics and by Hasbro for Alternator Swindle. Oh, it was Alternator Swindle that was the redeco. Okay, so this figure wasn't redone at all, apart from
Hmm.
when it was brought over to Japan for their version, which again looks the same. Nothing too crazy there. Okay, that was my bad.
It looked like just a little. I don't even think it's got more paint. Just the camera photography is a bit. It's picking up the color on the alt mode a bit better than the Hasbro photography is.
Yeah, the only thing you could say is maybe the window screen's painted in a bit more of a vibrant blue than America's. But
Yeah.
again, like you said, that could just be the way that the photo's been done, to be
Yeah.
honest. So, yeah. Next up, we have Prowl, which I think the mold of the transformation was used for Jazz as well, because I didn't have Prowl, but I did have Jazz, and Jazz looks like he was the exact same figure as this. This one didn't have much in the way of heels either. Again, a reasonably competent Prowl, a nice sporty car with a flash headlights on the top, and no side guns on the side of the head, obviously, but then just the Prowl head. Does it say anything about them being used for Jazz? It doesn't, but I'm pretty sure it's the same basic transformation as the Legends Jazz that was used in the future at some point. How do you think? How do you think Prowl came out then, Big D?
I'm actually surprised how much color there is on him, because Prowl's been a weird one over the years. Sometimes they make him quite anemic in deco. This one, though, it works. I mean, I like the alt mode with the tampo on the doors, which helps sell because that's not something we've seen a lot of on some of these other ones.
Yeah.
The actual colors, though, he's got paint on the forearms to help, which is classic Prowl anyway, but it helps sell the character. I mean, I think the only thing that might be a bit. I'm trying to. Does Prowl normally have white legs, or are they normally black down to white ankles or white thighs?
I don't know.
Off
the top
but
of
no,
my head,
I like it.
I think what it is usually Prowl has the black on the bottoms of his feet, right? Because they're usually at least in G1, they're that's the bottom of the car, and there's the back of the car. So maybe that's the bit that's missing. Because I would agree. Like waist upwards, he looks like he's well painted, and then the bottom, he does look a little bit sparse almost. Like maybe they should have colored his feet to be black, but if they did that, then there would have been just two black blobs in the back of the car mode, which wouldn't have worked either.
Given the transformation, I like how this stacks up overall.
Yeah, and you can. I mean, you look at it, you know how this works, right? It's pretty simple, very Micromaster-ish for the most part.
Oh, absolutely.
But this one does have knee bends just because of the transformation.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so he's a little bit more complex than the other ones. A bit of a stretch, but it's a little bit more.
Yeah. Did you have this mold at all, or
no? Like I say, I had Jazz, who I'm 90% sure was a similar transformation. I'm not going to say because obviously I had to do a few tweaks here and there for the new head and getting the light bar off the top of the car mode, etc., etc. But it doesn't say on here that that's the case.
I mean, I'd not be surprised if Jazz, because Jazz traditionally has normally had the same kind of transformation layout as the Datsuns have, but they've always kind of reshelled him. So
yeah,
if you told me they'd actually gone to that extra level to differentiate Jazz more distinctly from the other decos of this mold, I'd believe it, because Jazz is a character that always tends to sell when the toy's half decent. He's a popular character. So,
and he was done as Blue Streak, not Smokescreen, oddly enough, but Blue Streak.
That's
And
interesting.
oddly
So he
enough,
didn't get.
the Blue Streak figure in 2012 actually came with a gun,
Quite
which
a
is
good-looking
odd.
gun, actually.
Yeah, but he does have holes drilled into the side of his body, so you can store the gun. So there's an upside, but there's also a small downside, I guess you could say. It's not massive. What's the other
Yeah,
one? The EZ one from Japan. Arguably has a bit of a nicer deco, I think.
it's interesting because I don't know if you saw Chris McFeely put out his first new video of the new year yesterday, and it was on Blue Streak,
Okay.
and he got in a bit into the background of the character because the reason he was initially, I don't know if you remember, but the original toy for all the artwork on the box for him was a car with blue detailing.
No, I don't remember that. No.
And well, it's because in Japan, as for Darkman Wave, the Datsun had the three decos, so the police car, and then two versions of what we now know as Blue Streak and Silver Streak.
Mm.
And originally they were going to bring over the Blue Streak deco apparently, and so they did all the artwork based on that and took promo pictures of the toy. But then when it went to release, it was actually the Silver Streak the deco that we now the silver deco that we now call Blue Streak that got released in to the world and was used to represent the character going forward.
Huh.
And that's the deco of the Generations one with the black hood and roof.
Ah, okay.
And that's the one that the deco they used for the Universe 2.0 version of Blue Streak. When they called him Silver Streak then. And I think all the other versions have been since then, to be fair. And then plain silver, it's not a version you normally see him in, but it does work. I'm of too much. I kind of like the black on the hood and the roof, but I do quite like this plainer deco that Car used for the Easy collection. That does work as well.
I was wrong though. It looks like they've actually remolded the 2012's hands, because the Japanese ones are using completely closed-fisted ones, which the American one is using, and the newer the other Blue Streak, the one that has the gun, is using the hands that were used on some of the previous figures that we've talked about. That has the little weird open grippy hand.
And that's actually the same hand that the open hand's also been what they used on what they call in the GT mission Safety Prime toy. Which it's interesting if they went with this instead of Smokescreen, though.
It is.
I think
you would have thought they would have just done it just in general.
Well, I think I understand why. It was so they didn't have to get rid of the light bar.
Maybe.
But yeah, that's interesting. I like the car mode of just the Safety Prime more than anything.
Yeah.
But that's purely because I think the body or the legs needed more color on to help break up between the thighs and the chest.
You mean for the Generations one?
No, if you look at the Safety Prime figure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very white figure in robot mode. I think if the leg's been in black.
I prefer it because the on the Generations one, they've used a much more metallic-y silver. And the way they've painted the window screens is this also kind of metallic but slight blue tint to it. I feel on the legs that because obviously the back window screen is on the front of the shins, that kind of gets lost in the rest of the dark metallic gray. While on the Japanese figure, you're right, it is a lighter gray silver. It looks like the adamantium color that they had in the Gloop machine in X-Men 2. But the window screens on this are more of a bluey silver, so they stand out a little bit more. Not massively more, but a little bit more.
I think I may have actually gone ahead of us because I'm looking at one of the other decos of this toy.
Oh, right. Okay. Which one?
GT Mission Safety Prime. And he's very white.
Oh yeah, that's a different one. Yes, I wasn't looking at that
Yeah.
one.
Sorry.
No,
Um,
no, I made the mistake. I didn't click on that one because I thought that would take me to an Optimus Prime figure. I didn't think that would actually take me to a blue streak figure. Yeah, this is not a good color scheme. This is
well, I like the
missing stuff.
car mode just because of the deck of the tampos on it, but to mark it as a safety car, that's cool. I dig
They're
that.
interesting, but I wouldn't say it's like a car you look at and go, "Whoa, I'd love to drive
Yeah,
that
yeah.
fucking car."
But
This
I
is the
think the
car for the
robot
crash
just
test dummies. You know?
yeah, but the robot just needed something a bit more on the torso or the legs, I think.
I'll be honest, I was confused why you said like they didn't have to remove the light bar because I was like, "But they have removed the light bar." Oh, okay, whatever, it's fine. Yes,
Sorry.
this one does have the light bar from Prowl, but the other blue streaks or silver streak, whatever his fucking name is, doesn't matter. Those ones have remolded the thing to not have that
Hmm.
in, whatever that means. You know, whether they just pulled it out and plugged in a new part or however that works. Yeah, I
Looking
think
at it, I think
safety
I think
car
they.
wise, I think I would have liked some hazard stripes on him. To be honest,
Hmm.
I think that could have
Yeah.
been quite nice. He needed more in his like torso as well. Kind of
Hmm.
maybe if his torso, as in like his abdomen and waist area, or his legs were yellow, just to kind of
Yeah.
match
Yeah.
the little V fins on his forehead and the light bar.
Hmm.
Just to add a bit more would have been nice, but maybe that's getting to the point where it's adding too much color. But then, what am I saying?
Poss-
You could just mold the legs into the yellow. You didn't have to mold them in white.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. Eh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Next is Optimus Prime, last of the Legends figures, at least from this wave. And again, I didn't have this Optimus Prime either, but he has big old open hands, huge, which I assume is for either one or two things. One, that it was just designed that way, or two, it was due to part of the transformation. I'm not sure which. But again, for a Legend scale Optimus Prime, this is pretty good. He's got a
Yeah.
decent amount of articulation as well. I don't think. No, he doesn't have knee joints, but he has like swivels at the shoulders and big bicep, ball jointed shoulders as well, and probably no guarantee, but probably a chest swivel.
Hmm. And I do quite like how his arms do the thing. They fold up and they form the sides of the cab, and you can see the wheels hanging off the bottom. But that's fine for this. That's actually a bit more involved than you'd expect at this price, this scale for an Optimus Prime. To be fair.
Yeah. I think we've seen
So,
this
fair play.
transformation idea before, haven't we?
Hmm.
Didn't they do something like this for one of the earlier primes where you took the chest and you spun it round to face backwards? Because like the front of the cab mode or like the grill is on his bottom basically.
Yeah, Classics Prime does that.
That was the one. Yeah. It's a good idea.
Yeah, they've done it a few times. They've done it a few times where they just put extra layers basically in Prime's torso.
Because he's got a real nipped waist, doesn't he?
Mm.
He's got an hourglass figure, basically.
Yep, this is a Prime who does his cardio but does not skip arm day or leg day by looks of things.
I was going to say ladies would be jealous of this hourglass figure. He just needs to strut the pose next. So this figure was done... Oh, quite a few number of times. It was done again in Dollar Store, which is just the Optimus Prime figure again, it seems like, but he's come with Menasau's weapon, which I assume is just remolded into red from another Motor Master that they probably had at some point. Used for Generations Legends class figure Motor Breath. Who was? Oh, no, it's just a repaint of this figure. Never mind. Motor Breath was a repaint. Yeah, there it is. Generations did a repaint of this figure into Motor Master colors with that sword as well. And it actually looks quite nice. It could do with a bit more color on it, but it is like black and gray. It's not Nemesis Prime colors, but that's all right as well, I'd say, right?
It's actually kind of interesting because, I actually quite dig this Motor Breath. Calling it Motor Breath, not Motor Mouth, makes it... bit more distinct as well.
You could do with more of the gray on him. Like it looks like they've painted. I think it's maybe the photo's not really showing off the abdomen side bits. They look a lot darker than the legs. I think if that gray was maybe on the mouth plate, that would help. Maybe on the what's the centerpiece of his forehead called? That bit.
The breast.
The breast of his forehead.
Breast.
Oh, crest. Okay, that makes more sense. The crest of his forehead. I think that needed to be in the lighter gray as well, and maybe like the forearms.
Actually, you know what I could see work, because we don't normally see it on an Optimus Prime. But if keep the mouth plate dark, but do all of the head in that grey.
That'd be interesting.
All the rest of it.
Oh yeah, because that would give the Motor Master look.
And it would make it. I mean, it would make it much more of an inversion of Optimus Prime's colors.
Yes, and doing it as like the gray helmet would pull him further away from just like the way I was going to do it effectively would take him maybe a bit too close to like Shattered Glass Optimus Prime.
Yeah.
So yeah, that could be interesting to see. Yeah.
It's an interesting deco. I'd like it, but like you say, it's got room for finesse, but just the fact that they gave him the sword as well.
Yeah, and it looks like Motor Master sword. I mean, it does awkwardly store, let's say, in vehicle mode.
Yeah, but
that is better that it stores than not at all, I suppose.
Absolutely.
So there's that one. There's also Optimus Prime again. It looks like it's just Optimus Prime again. Maybe the paint apps are a little bit different. Who fucking knows? He has a black Autobot insignia tampographed on the side of his arm, which looks a bit lame. Black Autobot symbols always look a bit on the kind of weak sauce side, I'd say.
Yeah.
They don't pop. They need to be red, at least red with a white background, at least. Then there was Ultra Magnus as well, because why not? And that is the standard Ultra Magnus variant, which just means he's the white cab with like dark grey pants. So it's okay.
Although I do like though that he's got those very dark grey, almost black on the legs. That's different for a Magnus, and it makes him makes him stand out a bit more amongst Ultra Magnuses.
Would you say this one again, like the Motor Master, just needs a few more colors on him to fully bring him out?
Possibly, yeah. I mean,
like, maybe at the very least, for cab mode, the front wheel maybe should have been the odd one out and be sculpted black or molded black, because there's a little too white there.
Or maybe you see by the grill you got what would normally be the silver stripe on Prime
for vehicle mode or for robot mode. Sorry,
for vehicle mode.
Oh yes, yeah.
Imagine if that instead was that in that. Is it almost like an? Yeah, it's almost like a Corax. I'm thinking more what they've done for the legs. Have that color repeated on as the stripe on the cab.
Oh, not the baby blue.
No, I'm thinking more what we've got on the legs, which is more like a Corax black.
Yeah, it's like
black
it's a very, very dark grayish, blackish blue color, that kind of thing. Yeah, that could work.
Yeah. Just to break things up a little bit.
Yeah, again, it's not bad. It's kind of standard, you see a Ultra Magnus and you're like, yeah, well, an Optimus Prime. I mean, in 2026, there'd definitely be a Shattered Glass Optimus Prime, I think, as well.
Shattered Glass, Dead, Optimus Prime, Toxitron, Nemesis.
Less so Toxitron. Toxitron seems to be a bit more of the anomalous version, I'd say.
Yeah, that's true.
He doesn't come out a lot. It's nice when he does, though. So for Japan, there was a Convoy 2 for Generation 2. The first one just looks like an Optimus Prime again, which is like, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, colors are a little deeper, I think, for
the Generation 2 one has a Generation 2 symbol on it, which is nice, and then its legs are black rather than blue. But Generation 2 Optimus Prime is lame because it's just Optimus Prime, but just with black legs. Then there is the Easy Gum Collection, which just looks like, for those not aware, the Gum Collection is just a small toy that comes with a bit of crap candy that some Japanese things come with. It's always that as well. I've had that candy before in Super Mini-Pla model kits. They're not very nice. And I imagine they're at least as old as the 80s.
Well, yeah.
I imagine these bags have just existed since the nuke was dropped on Japan.
I mean, in fairness, this sort of gum will probably outlast civilization.
Yeah, don't swallow this gum. This gum will last inside of you. Again, this one just seems to be the G. I think it's just the G2 one again. It seems like
I think so.
it's
Yeah,
just got
yeah.
the G2 symbol. I
Just with
guess it.
gum.
Yeah. You know what I really want? Man, I want that G2 version with the gum or without. Oh, with the gum. Come on now. If I'm paying premium prices, I want that high end gum. That was that. No, there's another Optimus Prime from the Easy collection. This one doesn't come with gum, but it seems like he's more. Yeah, this one's more standard Optimus Prime. So he's got the blue legs, and then he's got the G1 Autobot insignia on his shoulder this time round. Then there is the Transformers campaign item, an anniversary clear version, which is not in Optimus Prime colors. Oddly enough, it's in G2 Optimus Prime colors. Oddly enough, so he's got licorice black legs and then licorice black torso, and then a strawberry red. All of this is clear and see through. Cherry like strawberry torso area. That one looks. Again, I wouldn't touch it because it's translucent, but it looks interesting, I guess.
Absolutely, it looks fun if nothing else.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, well, okay, fair enough. There's that one.
Yeah.
And then there's the last one, which is the fan book, which released as one of the freebies along with stealth colored Bumblebee for Transformers fan book from 2021.
Ah.
Oh, okay. I've seen these things. These are Japanese magazines that are just It's got a load of dross in them, to be honest. But they're okay, it's a thing. This one is sort of Optimus Prime colors, but then like his abdomen area and then his thighs are just black. But then
It's
he's
an
got
interesting
bright blue
little remix.
legs. Yeah, I don't think in a good way though. Like it's
Yeah, I
different,
mean-
but not good. It doesn't look cohesive. Looks
mean,
almost
I
like the
kind-
black bits are unpainted.
I mean, I kind of like how the cab mode looks, but then the fact of the black on the rim trim of the back wheels isn't painted black, or how have they done it? The black is not along the top. I think if it was along the top of that little piece of trim on the sides, that would probably have helped the robot mode a bit.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah, it's
But-
on the side of the trim, but not on the top of the trim, which is an
Yeah,
odd choice.
Yes.
See, I'm not a big fan of the robot mode with the black bit there because the red, because it's like black abdomen and then red underpants and then black legs, and it does
Yeah,
look
that's
a
a
little
bit
bit like he's
odd.
wearing speedos.
It does, doesn't it?
To be fair, if you fold the Optimus Prime head down, it does start to look more like a mouth, like, and then the front of the window screens are eyes, and then you could kind of faux that as a big robot mouth, and the legs are, for whatever reason, attached to the bottom of the jaw.
Yeah.
That, to me, would work better than Optimus Prime as he looks here.
I can see that, but as everyone you get talking about, well, Andy, you're starting to worry me slightly. Because you're seeing faces everywhere.
I see, because I've killed so many, I see their faces.
And you're making us see the faces as well.
Yeah, well, I'm helping share the love of Cthulhu. So on to the Scout size figures now. We are looking at Brimstone, who's totally not a leftover from Revenge of the Fallen, though he is. This was one I always wanted to pick up but never got around to getting. And he is a hot rod dirt bike. Not dirt bike, but proper like biker bike.
He's a hog.
That's the word. He's a hog.
He's a proper American chopper style bike.
Yeah, American chopper. That's a good way to say it.
In all its ludicrousness.
Yes,
and he's great.
It's really like the bike mode itself is really good. I think the biggest letdown for it is the color scheme isn't good. It is mostly. Because he's pipework and metalwork, he's mostly unpainted gray Hasbro plastic.
Yeah.
Not silver, but just unpainted gray. So that's already a big knock against him. And then his primary colors are like an ultramarine blue and then a metallic green flame effect on him.
Yeah.
Now, metallic yellow, I think, would have worked a little bit better here. But it being green, not so much. The head design is really unique and weird. I don't really know how to describe it, apart from it looks like he has a massive overbite and no bottom jaw.
You know what he looks like? Think Sonic 2.
Okay.
No, am I thinking Sonic 2? Which one's it where Robotnik builds for Sonic, the evil Sonic robot?
Are we talking metallics, or are we just talking about the evil Sonic robot?
The evil Sonic robot. I'm thinking just
That's the
the
second
head.
one, yeah.
Yeah, the head for this kind of gives me a bit of that vibe and a bit of how Robotnik's
Hang on,
machines always have overbite.
what was the color scheme of it? Because metallics is like blue Sonic, and then the one Robotnik builds in 2 is just gray.
I could be getting them mixed up because I'll be honest. Most of my Sonic memories are from playing Sonic 1 and 2 30 odd years ago. So,
Yeah. So do you remember it being gray, or do you remember it being blue?
I remember being blue, but
Okay, so that's not
probably
Sonic 2
I'm probably misremembering. To be fair,
that's
but
metallics.
just that overbite and the eye setup puts me in mind of a Dr. Robotnik machine somehow.
I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got very weird hands, as initially you might think that his bizarre hands are the bladed wheel things, but they're not. He has very, very tiny hands underneath of those. It's hard to really describe the silhouette of this thing. Imagine you look at your forearm and you stick on the outside of your forearm a wheel that's in the shape of a shuriken. That's the arm design.
Okay. Yeah.
You see what I mean?
I do. I kind of get what you're saying there. Yeah.
Because initially you look at the figure and you see those big wheels and you think, oh, those are his hands. They're not. It's the little black nubs on the blue bit underneath them
Oh dear.
are his hands.
He has such teeny tiny hands.
He does, and I don't know why. I think that it might have been better for them to have just gone and said the wheels were his hands, or he just has these weird chainsaws for hands. I mean, the little bits at the bottom, it's just sad, like you said.
Yeah.
It's just sad.
Yeah, and a bit of a shame because otherwise he looks like quite a lot of fun, to be honest. Bit of a mess because he's made of pipe, but still.
He's certainly a Revenge of the Fallen movie figure, but at least he is a unique design.
Oh, yes. And arguably one of the best looking bike modes any Transformers had, to be fair.
Yeah.
That looks really nice.
And his repaint isn't too bad either into Chop Saw.
Ooh.
The image here is a little bit better, so you can have a better... Can you see his tiny hands a little bit better now?
Yeah, man, his arms, his forearms are weird.
Like the proportions of his arms, like they're really long and they're really thin because they're the front of the bike that hold the wheel together.
Yeah.
But you look at it, you're like, that's okay, sure. And it's interesting that the back wheel is the centerpiece of his chest mass as well. That's kind of fun.
It is, yeah.
Again, this is a scout size figure, so to do a bike at this scale is always quite difficult, because if we think back to like Galaxy Force, Cybertron, we had what was the bike?
There was RC.
No, not RC. It was the Dude.
In
Cybertron. Yeah, the one with the massive backpack. He was orange, like the front of his bike was orange and black.
I can't remember his name.
You know
now.
who I mean, though.
I do.
Yeah, that one had the mess of having all of the bike just hanging off of his back and having really skinny legs. This one's kind of spreads the skinniness around. And although his forearms are arguably the worst part about the figure because the messy wheels, they don't hinder the articulation or like the balance, strangely enough, because it's quite thin. So it's quite a neat little figure. Head says Sonic CD Metal Sonic, Sonic 2 Mecha Sonic / Silver Sonic. That's the difference between the two of them. So you might have been thinking of CD Metal Sonic, Big D.
Possibly. I never played it, but I probably saw pictures of him in the magazines all over the place.
Metallics is the famous one. Metallic is the famous one, rather than Mecha Sonic, as he was named there. Yeah. Which do you prefer out of Chop Saw and...
That's a tough one.
Brimstone, because Chop Saw doesn't have the fire effects, and his color scheme is more on gray painted plastic, which is a bit of a bummer. Then not red, which I thought initially, but maroon, but then just yellow stripes.
Yeah,
which is kind of interesting.
It's not very good coverage on the yellow paint. In
Oh,
fairness,
yeah.
so
Yeah.
props for that. I must say, I know you weren't too high on it. I do like that metallic green over the blue.
Okay.
But just because metallic green's not always a color that can work very well, and they've managed to get a really nice coverage of it, which helps a lot. And I think also it also helps the fact that it's over a blue plastic.
Maybe
that
my
has helped
opinion
it
would
a
be
lot.
changed if there was more blue on him. I think maybe because there's so much gray on him, especially on the legs. Maybe maybe it needed just a bit more blue to cover some of that gray up. But again, if you do that, then you kind of fuck with the bike mode, so you can't really win.
Yeah.
But
There's limits to what you can do. I think both of these are actually quite nice for what they are.
Yeah.
I
I
think
they're not an aggressive movie design, and sometimes I think sometimes some of the non-movie figures were always more interesting than the actual movie designs.
They've taken the movie aesthetic and they've had a play with it. And I mean,
go on.
This guy'd make a great goon or henchman for a collection. You know, if you were kind of like doing all the weird little bikes that they've done over the years, he'd fit quite nicely there. Yeah.
It says the articulation on this figure is rather impressive, but is hindered due to the entire lower halves of his leg being static. Imagine that's because he doesn't have any like ankle joints or anything like that. The figure also features metallic paint of the green flame on the detail. Okay, fair enough. Brimstone, not bad looking figure, and again Scout Science, so that's not too bad. I did have this next one, which was Hubcap. Like if you look at this guy. This is one of the what they call the light rods from G2-ish era. The only thing he's missing is a big translucent sword and a little light bar going through him. He turns into a Big D. What kind of car is he? 1930 styled Willie 77. It closely resembles a Willie's with a plural 77 with some elements of its successor, the America. What the fuck are these names? So apparently it's a lot of that. If that means anything to you.
It's a real classic hot rod style car at the end of the day. It's got those big pipes coming out of the engine to the exhaust down the side. And all right, there's not a lot going on with the car mode in terms of deco, but it's clean.
And again, it's one of those car modes that Transformers does not usually touch.
Yeah, absolutely.
However, I like the car mode and the color scheme for the car mode. The robot mode goes from a very red car to a unpainted gray plastic in parts, and then a brownish. It's not really brown. It's kind of a clay, maybe a clay color, you could say, for like his shins and his forearms and his head. But then his head also has yellow for the mouth part.
Yeah, it's an interesting deco.
It's a little ugly, I think, in some ways.
I get that. I mean, I think it's one where they maybe ran out of ideas for how to do him, because there was an opportunity here to go kind of a bit hog wild. If they were doing this as a bit of a tribute to for those G2 cars, they could have given Vienna Robot, give him a real eye-bleedingly bright plastic for the frame.
Well, you know what would have been a good color scheme for him? Micromaster color scheme. Big Daddy.
Yeah.
You take that mode and you add, you change it to black and you add flame effects onto it.
Ooh.
Actually, any of the Micromaster, what was it called? Was it the Hot Rod team that had Big Daddy?
Yes, it was. Yeah, the Hot Rods.
Because I can't remember his name, but there was the one in that set that was like green and white with a red face. I think it was nearly this car or something that looked similar to this car.
Not too far off it, but he was kind of white with green flame detailing.
No, I'm thinking of there was a green one and there was an orange one as well from that set. You're thinking of the one that was more of a car. I'm thinking the ones that look more like this kind of car.
Yeah.
There was a green one. The orange one, for some reason, his legs were backwards.
Yes.
Yes.
They had some odd options in that.
It was a
that
weird one.
slot.
So some issues with this figure is he has a lot of like stuff hanging off the back of his legs. He basically has the roof of the car and the boot of the car hanging off the back of his legs.
Hmm.
Which is again, he's a reasonably posable figure. He has I think it's either he just has elbow joints or there's a pin just above the ball joint. I can't remember. Does it say here?
I mean, it looks like there should be a pin there.
I think so, but I'm not entirely sure. Apparently, something it mentions here is his feet appear to be based on the iconic foot design of the Japanese mecha franchise Gundam, which I'm not entirely sure. I think that's a bit of a stretch. I would say.
I can kind of see it, mainly, but it only really looks like that because he actually has a defined feet, which is not a common thing in a lot of these figures. If we're being honest, they're just in bits of a car.
Yeah.
I kind of get what I mean because you do have that raised section that is normally an additional piece on most Gundam kits to push into form the top of the foot.
Yeah, it's usually a white part rather than silver.
Yeah,
I get what they mean. It still feels.
I think they are stretching a little bit though.
Yeah,
just a little bit.
Like if it was more of the shape of the classic Gundam foot design, I'd be a bit more on board. But it's not.
It's a bit more rounded in place. It's not as angular.
Yeah, definitely more rounded. They look almost like running sneakers. Oddly enough, they look like Sonic shoes a little bit.
I mean, I was thinking they almost look like he's wearing, because of his style very much like a classic, 30s or 40s style motor, right?
Right.
I'm thinking I kind of read his feet almost as being intended to look like smart dress shoes, almost. Because
yeah, he's meant to be in a fancy suit going out for a bit. He needs a suitcase.
Actually, yeah, this deco, do it all in black. Do for robot mode, like he's wearing a tux almost.
That'd be fun.
Oh,
you could. If you remolded this hat, his head to have a top hat. Yes, that would be perfect. I think. Yeah, you color him like the robot mode. The car mode. You make it white, that creamy white, and then you have the inner robot to be like mostly black bits as well. For that like you say, white tuxedo look, but then with the black hat. That could be quite cool.
And you keep the silver detailing on the chest plate for the exhaust for the grill, and that would actually work really well.
Yeah. Man, we've brought up Tux quite a few times when talking about toys. I feel since we've been doing this series,
That's true. Yeah,
he is an iconic looking character. There are no other Transformers that have, or transforming robots, as far as I know, that have a top hat built into them. Not many.
I've seen a few of those Chinese own brand Transformers that are really nice and
Chinese ones or the South Korean ones? Because you mean like Tobot?
Sure
because Tobot's South Korean.
I'm not sure, but there's a line I keep seeing show up on some of my AliExpress feeds where. Oh,
that might be South Korean. I think I know the stuff he was talking about.
But they're really nice alt modes. They often look like state. Like ambassadorial cars with the flags on and all that.
Yes.
But the robots quite often have the headgear you'd associate with, whoever be driving that sort of vehicle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, chauffeur cap, right?
Chauffeur caps, military forage caps, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And you just think, oh yeah, that'd actually be kind of cool. Yeah, I could see it in that sort of line. Yeah, because they've done quite a few really high end things like Rolls type, the sort of car you expect someone important to be for a VIP to be dropped off in. So,
well, this figure was apparently going to get used for Downshift. However, it was cancelled, so it never actually happened.
No.
It doesn't actually say specifically how he would look. Oh no, they have an image of it. I've just scrolled up. Oh damn, that looks really good. That's the color scheme that we were talking about almost earlier.
Oh god damn it!
Look at that. That looks really good.
That's ace.
Yeah. Granted, the inner robot, for some reason, they've used this kind of bluish green color, but that still looks fairly nice. It's weird because if you look at the
It's not grey.
no, it's
You
not
know,
gray. Yeah, it's
let's take the
painted
win.
or molded differently.
But that's actually I dig that flame deco over black.
The
That's
flame
really
deco is really good.
mm,
Really
mm,
good. Because it's changed the front of the car to being yellowish, and then with the fire
yeah.
effect bleeding through. And then there's an extra fire effect on the side of the door as well. That's
Yeah.
way better than Hubcap's color, who's just red.
Yeah, I mean, man, this would have
That's so
if
much
it released it in
better,
this
man.
color, that would have. God damn it.
Yeah, this is kind of the big daddy colors I was talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah, damn.
that's
Well,
great. I
there you
dig.
go.
Yeah. Hmm.
I clicked on the link and it scrolled the page down, so I didn't see there was a photo, and then it scrolled up just this little way. Oh, there it is. Oh, look at that. Look at that. I had this next one as well, which was Breacher. It was really good,
Yeah.
actually. Did you
Yeah,
have Breacher?
Breacher's. Yeah, I've got Breacher, and I think I might have one of his redecos as well.
You know what's weird? He's got one of those 3mm peg weapons.
Hmm.
And he's like the only one. None of the other ones
Yeah.
have it. It's like, oh, okay. For those not aware, he is a armored Breacher transforms into a Sibmas AFSV-90 armored fire support vehicle. For all you vehicle people out there, you know what it is. You know. His cannon uses the C joint system, which is what we mentioned. And he's a neat little dude. Proportionally, he's got a few little points that are weird, like his feet are quite small. They're long, but they're thin. And I would say the color scheme's a little bit flat here and there.
A little bit, but for a guy who's supposed to be a trooper,
yes, yeah.
you know, it hits all the right notes.
Yeah, it's perfectly fine.
I've always, funnily enough, I didn't actually get Breach when he first came out. I picked him up later on, a few years after, because I'd just never been able to find him at the time on the shelves. But it was one that I always wanted because I had Seaspray, he was designed to interact with.
Oh yeah, of course. I forgot about that.
But yeah, fun figure, and he's a nice blending of a bit of the movie aesthetic and a bit of the classic Transformers aesthetic.
Yes.
So the movie bit doesn't overpower things.
Yeah, he can work on a chug shelf well enough without, like you say, being too egregious. Yeah. XL Hedge says Downshift reminds me a lot of a Hot Wheels car. Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
Something fun as well about Breacher is the fact that he has a rotating turret. So he has a turret, and it actually moves left and right, and because it's on the C-clip system, the gun moves up and down on it as well. That's great.
That was such a novelty at the time.
It still kind of is a little bit.
Yeah, especially this size scale as well.
Yeah. So even some like larger scale figures can't have rotating turrets that don't look ass. Studio Series Megatron, looking at you. He does have a actual butt flap as well, just because it's part of the roof of the vehicle. It's a little bit shameful, but no, this figure's a really good little dude. I wouldn't say he's like one of my favorite, but it's surprising how well he works. He works. This mold was used to make Generations GDO Brawl. So let's have a look at that. So this one is the green one. I think I might like this color scheme a bit better. Mainly because I don't like the white on the previous one on Breacher, who was like dark blue and white. This one is army green and the clay color, oddly enough. But then the face is... do you say that's a maroon for the face inside the clay brown?
I'd say so. It's kind of because Breacher is more of a SWAT vehicle. Brawl is much more clearly army. Oddly, though, the head, more than anything, reminds me of Quake.
Yes, yeah.
Not Brawl. But that's because Brawl supposed to have the face plate and this guy doesn't, so it reads more as Quake because of how the
it helps as well that the face colors kind of drip into Quake-ish color scheme. Oddly enough, I think color scheme-wise, the best way to describe the colors on his face is who's the Triggercon, who is the plane.
Trigger Happy.
No, that's the
not Trigger Happy. Wing Sweeper.
wing sweeper. He's got a wing sweeper head coloring.
Yes, yeah,
That's
he
what that
does.
looks like.
Mm.
But I think this is for me a lot more interesting. I think this works better. If it had a
Yeah,
camo on
could.
it, I wouldn't say no.
Mm,
Army camo on
yeah,
this coat,
yeah,
I'd
yeah, yeah.
be okay with that, But it's not bad.
No, not
Chill.
at all.
It was meant to be used for reveal the shield body block, but the entire wave was let's see if body block was actually it was photoed. Okay, there it is.
Mm,
This is another
that's
green one.
green and white, which is interesting. So,
Yeah.
so not a solid color for the body. Instead, it's more partitioned, which
Uh,
is interesting.
it's okay. I think it's a little
hmm.
bit more interesting. We'll go with that. I think it's a little more interesting than Breacher, but I don't think it's as
Yeah.
good as Brawl.
That's fair.
What do you think of
do-
this? Did you have this? No, well, you didn't have this one. Which one did you have? Because you said you had repaints, right?
I thought I did, but I must only have Breacher because I certainly don't have Bodyblock and I certainly don't have Blaural either. So that's weird. I swear I had another Decker with Breacher, but I must be mistaking things.
Unless it's not listed here, unless I just haven't seen it, which could be the case.
I mean, I do like how Bodyblock has a dark grey for the inner frame. That works quite nicely.
It's way better than unpainted grey plastic. It's still unpainted plastic and it's still grey, but it's the tone of grey that's important.
Yes, yeah.
This is for those that are wondering, the grey's probably closer to standard Gundam kits grey that you'd have for like an inner frame or something. It's kind of that grey.
Yeah, so. That's how I'm reading it as well. Yeah. And I dig the flashes of orange they put on there as spot color.
Yes. Do you want me to ruin this as well for you?
Oh god! Because it looks like
the mouth.
It looks like a snake head. Yeah,
it does. Yeah, exactly. See, you see it now if you look at these things. XL Head says Breacher is Rook before Rook. I guess that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works. So that is body block, and then we have. Is this? This must be a scout class figure as well. Yeah, this is Insecticon, not Insection, Insecticon, which is not a standard Insecticon. It is simply a boog. Insecticon is an insectoid robot who turns into a robotic insect.
Yes.
Fucking wiki people. Did Mikey write this bullshit? Surprise! He has a relatively basic transformation compared to the other scouts. Because all 6 of his arms and legs have at least 3 points of articulation. And he ends up with 23 points of articulation. You heard that right. Oh, well, that's something at the very least.
Yeah.
Looking at the image, yes, it does not look like he does a huge amount. His arms are his legs, and they do not transform. But yeah, they're on mushroom pegs, so they will swivel, and like they have a bend in there as well.
So
I don't love it.
No, but I appreciate that they've tried something interesting with this.
Yes.
I mean
relatively interesting.
The insect wings are okay, but I actually quite like how because there's so much articulation in the limbs. The actual pictures we've seen of this one and the Takara Deco don't really, I think, do justice to what you can do with with the limbs. Because if you look at it, the arms for robot mode are actually they're mushroom pegs, which are also the point they attach to is itself on a joint of its own.
Yeah.
So in theory, you can actually do quite a lot with the arms. Much more than you'd expect for a figure of this size and price point. So I'm kind of impressed by that.
Yeah, it looks like from torso to arm, it goes swivel joint to ball joint to mushroom peg, and then lastly a bend joint. It looks like it at least. I can't really tell if it does swivel at the torso.
Yeah,
but I think it is.
Yeah, I think it does as well. It is tough to tell completely, I'll admit. But
it's hard. For those not aware, if you look at the image, it is grey plastic with weird detail. So it looks like these these slots, which could be indications of where a joint would be, could just be weird random detail on the figure.
Yeah, it's not the most helpful,
I do
unfortunately.
like the bug mode quite a lot, though. I think that looks like a good, like, weird, robotic, evil insect.
Yeah.
Even if the color scheme's a little bit drab, where it is just kind of a dark green and then grey and painted plastic, it's like, well, it's fairly okay, I'd say. The
Yeah,
Takara Tomy version is different, though, because that's
I
brown
it's weird.
and blue.
It's interesting. I think I prefer the overall deco of the Takara one, but I'd want the blue wings from the Hasbro version.
Yeah. The for some reason, the Japanese one just has got clear wings, like no color to it, just completely clear. And that's, I guess, more accurate to a bug, sure, but it's not as interesting visually.
I'm not sure. I think they may actually have some metallic paint on the wings, in fairness, along the
Oh,
trim.
I see the bit. Yeah,
of
just
each
to
panel.
help the detail pop.
Just to help
Yeah.
the definition.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I'd rather have had the blue wings over that, to be fair.
Oh, if you look at this Japanese image, you can see that. I think you're right. The torso does have the swivel joint that then goes to the ball joints that then goes to the swivel joint.
Yeah.
So you were right. That at least it looks like it again. It looks like that's the case. So you were right.
Coupled with the head actually being on a bit of a joint itself, so you can do stuff. You can kind of turn it a little bit. Sure, there's no waist, but you can do stuff with the legs, with the arms. I think this one might be a little underrated.
Maybe. I think the reason it's not highly rated potentially is because it probably doesn't do a lot of actual transforming.
Yeah,
because all you're really doing is it looks like for the most part you just line straight forward and then somehow tuck the head away.
Yeah.
Or maybe you don't even do that. Maybe it's yeah, I don't think you even do that. I think you put the head into the bug head and you swivel that 180 degrees so the bug head's pointing upwards, and then you kind of swivel the arms downwards, maybe. I don't know. Maybe there's not a lot of transformation here. It's weird looking.
I don't think there is, but the trade-off there is you get a lot of articulation in the limbs.
There's a lot. Just maybe not a lot of transforming.
Yes.
And it just it looks like that was it. He was only colored for Takara and then Hasbro, and that's it. Just a little bug boy. And then we also have Wind Charger. This one's from Reveal the Shield. I remember Wind Charger being a hot ticket item. Do you remember this, Big D?
I do. I never ended up picking up this Wind Charger just because he was so hot. Yeah.
He was an Autobot. It's Wind Charger. I was like, I don't care. I don't give a rat's ass.
Yeah, Wind Charger he's like Trailblazer. His personality is his special ability. He does electromagnetic stuff.
I'd say
it's kind of it.
Trailbreaker was at least. It feels like Trailbreaker was in more. I don't know whether that's true or not. But even though I had Masquerade, which is one of the few episodes Wind Charger turned up, I remember Trailbreaker more so than Wind Charger.
Yes. Yeah.
I think maybe because he was just another red car.
Yeah. I mean, put it this way, Wind Charger is going to be the last of the mini-bots we're getting in Studio Series?
Yeah, I guess so,
or in deluxe form.
Yeah.
And even then, all the others kind of got a bit of an announcement, and then they said, oh, and we're doing Wind Charger in this wave.
Oh, Mr. White drops some lore by saying, the Wind Charger. They released them in Wilco in the UK a month before the US and America. Fans were super pissed. I don't remember that, but I can believe it.
Yeah.
I can believe it because America would be like, we need it first. So this is a figure that I'm sure, as I mentioned, was difficult to get for whatever reason, and you seem to agree with that, Big D. So a fun thing that this did, because it was really the first Wind Charger we'd had, a real G1 Wind Charger, because previously we had the Alternators one. Wasn't really Wind Charger at all. This was much closer to what he should have been. He had a neat little feature where he did have some C-clips on him. Not many. I think he had like 2 on his forearms. But you could swivel the hands inside of the forearms and they would have 2 guns there. So it was like, oh, well, that's a neat little feature.
It is. That's the sort of gimmick I appreciate.
Yeah,
I think having.
You don't need to make extra accessories for him. The accessories are built into the arms. And he's not like a crazy transformation, because if you look at him, you can I can pretty much figure out how it goes.
Yeah.
But it looks like a decent articulation, solid representation of G1 wind charger in this kind of chug era.
Yeah, he's got a bit of that movie style into him and a bit of chug to him. So
yeah.
it's a nice. It's not a 1-for-1 wind charger, but it's an update, which is what I always liked the Generations line to do.
Yes,
as I've said before, I like it when they've tried to remix things a bit. So
let me read to you this. Like many other Reveal the Shield toys, Windcharger fell victim to the discontinuation of 2010 Transformer lines. I guess this was a thing. I don't remember. By all major U.S. retail chains in favor of the upcoming Dark of the Moon line. So this is why a lot of this stuff kind of got pushed aside. While he was widely available in foreign markets such as the United Kingdom, UK, Canada, and Germany, US fans didn't want to import him. Who didn't want to import him could initially only buy him from online retailers. Windcharger, together with several other Reveal the Shield toys, later showed up at discount stores such as Ross and Five Below, where he was sold for a merely $5 a pop. A CVS pharmacies who charge more than MSRP for him. Wow, what an asshole!
Ouch.
Yeah, coupled with the demands of the new sculpt toy of a 84 character, this resulted in the situation where you could buy him either from your local for cheap, if you were lucky, or you had to import him, or even buy him from scalpers.
Yeah,
that's a fun thing. The subsequent Scout Wave, unlike the subsequent Scout Waves. And Mr. White says, my friend got screwed over a parking fine, so I found a dozen of them, this figure, in London, so she sold Windchargers to pay the legal fine. Although,
I kind of love that.
Though the alt mode looked like a GoBot. What do you mean by that, Mr. White? What do you mean by it looked like a... Is it because of the slightly rounded legs that looked like they're like cylinders, like pipes? Because I guess I could see that.
Oh, yeah. There's a bit of that, Tim, isn't there?
Yeah, because that's the only thing I can say is GoBotty, because GoBots had that weird, like, oh, yeah, we got pipe legs for whatever reason. He didn't get much of a redo. The only redo he really got was he got released in Japan. Another way to import him. And the colors look reasonably similar. It looks like the robot mode has more gray on the robot mode than kind of this much darker gray. It looks like a little bit of a lighter gray from Japan. Not massively, but...
It's interesting though that he got released in a 2-pack with another redeco of the same figure as a Decepticon. And I kind of like the Decepticon more, to be fair.
It came with Wipeout, the redeco, which is a black version. He's black, unpainted gray, and a bluish, grayish kind of color. He looks, oddly enough, really good.
Yeah. Surprised this guy didn't get redone as a tailgate.
You mean the black version, you mean? Oh, no, you mean just in general,
Just because that's normally what Windcharger gets redecoed into.
No, that's true. Yeah, it is. I'm guessing they just... I mean, maybe it has something to do with the line being cancelled, right?
I'd guess so, yeah.
Yeah, so they went, oh, fuck it. So it's done. People be pissed. Mr. White says, the black slanted window. Okay, good. I thought that was going to be something rude. The black slanted window reminds me of a GoBot mold. Okay, GoBot - Major Mo. Major Mo. Let me have a...
I think I get what he means, yeah.
Let me have a quick look for GoBot Major Mo. GoBot Major Mo. This better not be butthole porn, Mr. White. It's not. Oh, okay, that's good. Okay, I kind of see what you're saying. Car mode, at least, yeah.
Yeah, the car mode is pretty...
Someone has done a custom version of that figure using...
Sideswipe, yeah.
Sideswipe with the head. It works quite well, actually, to be fair.
I'm actually surprised Hasbro haven't done this themselves as part of when they're doing GoBot releases.
Yeah, because they do own GoBots, but they only own certain parts of the GoBot stuff, right? Because they don't own the cartoon stuff, right?
Is
that how that works?
I think so. But yeah, that custom someone did that actually works shockingly well.
Yeah,
You
it's not bad.
put that black deco on the bonnet that the GoBot figure has. That'd be spot on.
Mr. White says, "Now I only send those links to you on a Wednesday." Oh, I'm looking forward to Wednesday, baby. Let's go. Next up, we have Rumble. It was another figure that was discontinued because of the way that things work, but he did get a release under the United line in Japan. Let me read this.
Hell yeah, he did.
Rendered, perhaps somewhat surprisingly, in blue color scheme. No, it's not surprising. Rumble's G1, Generation 1 cartoon appearance and original Frenzy toy, the 86 release gold weapon version, blah, 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 blah. Transformers reveal the shield Demolition Rumble transforms into dual wield on cannon anti-aircraft vehicle. Robot mold, blah, blah, blah. This mold was also used for Unite Wars Frenzy. Okay, as part of the reveal the shield line, subline imprint, Rumble has the feature of the rub sign. Demolition Rumble was intended to be released as part of the 5th Scout wave of the 2010 Transformers line, alongside Downshift and Body Block, who we've looked at already, but fell victim to the discontinuation by all major US retailers for the upcoming Dark of the Moon line. Unlike the previous waves, which were released in other markets and eventually showed up in the US discount stores, Rumble, Downshift, and Body Block wave remains unreleased. However, I'm pretty sure Rumble did come with... Yeah, he did. He came with United Frenzy.
Yep, and that's
Never
the
got
set
these.
I picked up. I did. They're great.
What do you like about them? Because they aren't a weird... They're a weird look, and it seems like they can kind of do the pile driver mode.
They can. Sort of? They've got like a spring-loaded thing for the pile drivers as well.
Springs. So, that's nice.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. It is. It does make things a little because basically the pile drivers hang off the back of their biceps.
Oh, I see them. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a little awkward, but as a way of putting the gimmick in, it works quite nicely. In fairness.
Okay.
I still have these two on one of my shelves because I've always liked the idea of these two being something other than tapes. So whenever they do a version of them, I find it interesting.
It's rare that when they're not done as tapes these days, to be honest.
Yeah, but these two in particular, because the robot modes were very explicitly the G1 robots.
Yeah.
But given much better articulation than we'd ever had them in before. And they're just fun, man.
They got weird feet, I guess.
They do. They're not perfect. There's a few things that, like I say, the way the pile drivers hang off the back of their arms is a bit of a pain.
Does it unbalance them at all, do you remember?
A little bit. They actually stand quite nicely just in a basic standing upright sort of pose. So that's how I've had them for years. But it just because of how they transform. If I remember right, there's a few odd little things with how they articulate, which isn't intuitive. So you need to kind of get used to it.
Okay.
But they look great on the shelf. If you have them next to really any Soundwave toy of the last 15 years, they look spot on. I mean, when we had the Fall of Cybertron Voyager Soundwave, these paired really nicely with that figure.
Okay.
Extremely nicely. Because they kind of fit the vibe, even though they were Earth anti-tank vehicles. They looked in, because of their decos, they looked sci-fi enough to fit in.
Yeah, so, I could go with that, yeah.
But yeah, it was just nice. Having to get the United 2 back was a pain, but at least they were available.
In some form, yeah, you could get them, unlike the other three who just didn't exist. I think visually, like, these do generally look good. I think maybe the legs are a little on the thin side, and that's mainly because of how big, because of the pile drivers, as you mentioned, it makes the arms really big and thick looking. I think the legs, if they could have filled them out a bit more, it still looks good. It's just one of those things that would be nice if they were just a little bit on the thicker side, I think. But I think these are, like you said, an interesting redesign that still kind of work. It's a shame that maybe there wasn't a Soundwave in some other sort of tank mode to kind of go alongside them,
Yeah.
like a standard Soundwave, just standard tank. I think
Yeah,
that would
that's
have
a bit
paired
of
up
a
nicely
shame.
with them.
Mm.
Yeah, it's not bad. Now we're going back to Hunt for the Decepticons. We have a deluxe size Ironhide figure from Revenge of the Fallen. He comes with a transforming weapon accessory. His missile turret from Revenge of the Fallen video game. I'll take your word for it. I don't remember that because I don't think I played it. Sadly, this goes at the expense of the movie-accurate cannon on his left arm. Oh, so he didn't have that. The turret can attach to his arm when transforming back to vehicle mode, thanks to a hard-to-notice joint on the arm. On the arm's cannon flip. Sorry, the arm's cannon flipping open to allow more room, ensuring no chance of losing the accessory. In an undocumented feature, the turret can also attach to the back of Ironhide's vehicle mode by slotting in the two legs into the small holes on the bed of the truck, and the third leg can be positioned forward and slot into the groove on the back of the cab. This can be quite difficult, however, if in a few undocumented features you do not fully extend the turret's legs, which are attached to a hinge, which will allow the three legs to fold down further than just pulling each one down individually. This allows greater range of movement and allows the turret to aim upwards. His hands have a 5mm port, blah, 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 blah. So there you go. So it's a small Ironhide if you're that way inclined. For some reason got a lot of baby blue on him. Quite sure why. I guess this is okay. This isn't too bad. What do you think, AD?
I mean, I think I had a version of this mold, not
the deluxe
perhaps
one.
not this. No, I tell you, I didn't have the deluxe one. I'm thinking of Voyager.
Yeah, there were loads of the Voyagers.
Yeah.
I think
I remember.
Doesn't look like there are any other versions of the deluxe apart from the Japanese repaint, and that's about it. I think.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Like the Japanese version is colored much more like the movie. There's basically no baby blue on him. He's colored in a lot of gray and a lot of black, and he looks way closer to the movie. For some reason, the American one has gone full baby blue. I don't know why.
They did like to do that, didn't they, from time to time?
Yeah, just like do a color scheme that is almost the right color scheme, then not at the same time, because they did the Deluxe Ratchet was kind of similar, which I think we've talked about before as well, which is why it's not on the list, where it was like the wrong shade of green or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's nice to have characters in more than just for one size class, you know? So sure. Ironhide, eventually he ended up, I think he basically covered all the major size classes by the time the line was done by the time he was
probably apart from
excised from the franchise. Yeah, because he had a legend. He had a legend.
He did, yeah. He must have. I'm sure he did.
Yeah.
He had a leader.
Yeah.
Definitely he had one or two Voyages, let's say.
Oh yes.
And he had this
one.
So. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird. The missile launcher thing is fine, I guess.
Yeah, it
feels like you should have just given him his other forearm cannon because that's more iconic than the missile launcher thing. But I think the representation of the truck mode is that looks like it's turned out really well.
It's a very nice truck mode, in fairness.
Yeah,
as we've come to expect from the licensed vehicle modes. Yeah. So
good
fair play on that score.
Toy designer head, you better made this look fucking good. XL Head says, "I got this."
Put the boot through the door.
Yeah. XL Head says, "I got this Ironhide as a souvenir from Disney Epcot." Oh my god!
Oh,
you would have paid a like full retail price, if not more, for it if you were getting it from Epcot. Because I remember being in Epcot and seeing, being very, very confused. I've probably mentioned this many times. Being very confused why Beast Wars Megatron was in there and was red. Like, what? Why are these called Dinobots? These are Transformers, aren't they? Why is the line called whatever? And I think it was in Magic Kingdom that I saw them. I think it might have been near the Buzz Lightyear ride at the time, for those who have been and know. But yeah, this is Ironhide. As I say, it seems like it was only redone into... Oh, wait. Is this the... No, that's not the deluxe. The Japanese have just made it more standard, I
Mm.
guess. Do you prefer him baby blue, or do you like him more standard movie color? I think
I
I
think
like
I-
him standard.
Yeah, the Takara version is a nice deco, I think.
Fuck off. There's no way. Was he really 2,730 yen for a deluxe? Fuck off.
Oh, he
It's
may
so
have been under
cheap.
their. They had a. I remember some of the movie stuff went under a more premium price point in
No,
Japan.
but that's pretty cheap. Well, at least by today's standards. Yeah, you're probably right though. For them, that might have actually been expensive.
Yeah.
I say that as like most normal Gundam kits now seem to be going for like 3,000 yen. It's the standard each
Yeah.
price, which is
Yeah.
fair.
Tell me about it.
Yeah. Next up, we have Hailstorm, who is not a movie character, but clearly based off movie-esque designs. I have this figure, as Nicole got it for me. It's pretty fun. It's got the weird, like, jank of a movie figure, how they move, but it's got a nice grunt look. He's got the awkward push fire missiles, which means he has giant rods poking out the back of his missiles that are on his shoulders. He's a what's this? A missile launching tank thing. What do you call it?
MLRS.
Thank you. He's one of them. It's nice that the in vehicle mode the turret section moves independently. It can move left and right and up and down. It does have a couple of C-point connection clips, and the vehicle mode's not bad.
Yes,
he's got this fun hunched look to him because he's got these giant shoulder-mounted guns, some quite squat legs, and then massive just shoulders for his robot as well.
Yeah, I've always had a bit of a soft spot for Hailstorm. In fact, he's up on my little Lord Straxus display alongside Space Case and Terror Dive and Bludgeon.
I wish more Transformers went for this slightly hunched look to mix up some of the Transformers silhouettes.
Yeah, he looks properly. There's a very simian aspect to him.
Yes, yeah.
But he's not completely simian. He works really well as that henchman, that slightly dim hench type character. Everyone. The biggest downside is though those sodding missiles, because it means that because the launcher doesn't actually fold back. I don't remember it doing that. So
what do you mean?
If you want to,
sorry.
Okay, you see how the launcher's arranged on his shoulders.
Yes.
Now, if memory serves, I don't believe you could fold those backwards.
No, they were always stuck in that position.
Yes. So that means, unless the missiles, you either need to store them somewhere.
I see the issue. Yes.
Or make sure there's a lot of clearance behind him, because those missiles were long.
They were long. It's a real shame. I'll say it's neat that in the missile launcher mode, you have the green bit that hides those bits.
Yeah, and it is nice that you can still use for gimmick. It's just
a lame gimmick.
Missiles.
Yeah. Push-fire missiles look lame. They don't work well. Sure, I'm sure children have saved eyes from being blinded, but that's up to Darwin. That's Darwinism at that point. So
it's a price we're willing to pay.
I am certainly. Yeah, I would agree. That's the only kind of downside here. I would say this version is better than the repaint as well, where he's repainted into Mindset.
And given a new head as well.
Is it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's a fucking ugly head.
Well, they tried to make him an Autobot, and I think this is supposed to be a more friendly face, and I don't think it's worked.
It looks slightly perverted, at least in this image. Like it looks sleazy. Looks like he's offering kids candy.
It's not the best image, is it? And he's also just a bit. The color's just a bit more boring than Hailstorm, because Hailstorm's got a lot.
For sure. It looks like they just didn't give camo, because for those not aware, the Hailstorm figure was army green, but then with white camo on. Maybe not the best way to do camo, white on green. I don't know who that fools, but it looks nice.
It's supposed to be a tundra camo, basically.
Okay. Well, it looks like camo. Here, he's just baby blue and black. And it doesn't look like, though, if you turn the vehicle mode's missile bit around, maybe there's a bit on the back there, but it looks pretty bland and barren without it on, to be honest.
And you don't have any of the large bits of bronze that are on Hailstorm either that help give him a bit. But he just lacks any real personality, and it just.
And the missiles are just black as well.
Yeah.
So even they should have been red at the very least to just highlight them being missiles. The black missiles in a black missile launcher is accurate, I'm sure.
Yeah.
but for like a thing that pops, it doesn't pop too well. Like in Mech Warrior, I'm pretty sure the Mad Cat's missiles are always painted a little bit different from the missile launchers that they're in, right?
Yeah.
Just again because they pop
Normally,
more when they're painted.
Absolutely.
I didn't know this had a different head until I saw this, and I'm very happy I never got this blue version.
Yeah, I think I might have it somewhere, but I only have it because I picked this version up really cheap. So it was a bit of a peg warmer, so
I could believe that. Like he's not in the movie.
Yeah.
Arguably a boring color scheme. Yeah. Mr. White says Gimpatron.
Yeah. I'm just looking at the Hasbro deco of Hailstorm though, and
do you mean the Hasbro one or the Takara one?
The Takara deco for Hailstorm. So there was a little picture. There was a little picture of him next to the Hasbro toy entry for him. It's not bad. It's different. It's the sort of deco where you could justify buying the figure twice.
Yeah, kind of.
So you could have both versions because they look similar but not identical.
Yeah, the green used on Hailstorm is more of a brighter green, and the Takara one's more of a army green again.
Yeah.
Which arguably is more appropriate, I suppose. But we don't know if this one's got the camo on, which I assume it might not have. I'd be interested to see what the vehicle mode looks like for this.
But I think because they've added that hint of yellowish gold paint, and the deco just feels more complete than Mindsets does as well. Although it's actually kind of similar to Mindsets in terms of the layout, but somehow it just works better on Hailstorm, even though partly it's the colors help as well. You know?
Oh no! It looks like there is if this is the Japanese one. Yeah, they've got a camo on this one as well, the white and gray. It's
very nice.
It's still I still I don't know. Do you prefer the Japanese one or the American one? Because they are very, very close to each other. Oh, here's a good side by side of the two of them. Even the camo's in the exact same place and it's done the exact same way. I do miss the bronze that is on the Hailstorm on the American version.
Yeah, that bronze helps give them a bit more pop.
Even though it's not accurate at all.
But sometimes accuracy just has to do one, doesn't it?
Yeah. A good thing about the Japanese one, of course, is they got rid of the unpainted grey plastic and used again the Gundam grey plastic. So there are a couple of joints on here, like in the front of the tank, which are for the American one, kind of ugly grey, and then the side of the missile launchers, ugly grey. For the Japanese one, again, it looks a bit nicer. So it's weird. Huh.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, but I wouldn't be adverse to having both of these, but I wouldn't be because I already have one. If you didn't have one and you could only buy one Big D, which one do you think you'd go for?
I would probably try and get the Takara one, but is, I'm happy to have the American version.
I would agree with that. Yeah, I wouldn't if they were. This is again like if I gave Big D this situation and they were both the same amount of money. If one was far cheaper than the other, which the Takara one would be more expensive.
Yeah,
you'd probably still go for the American. At least I would for this figure.
That's fair. Yeah,
because I don't think the color scheme is worth a big price increase, even if you're getting it from Japan. It's like, it's
very true.
You know, it's okay. All right.
Yeah.
Next up is Sea Spray. One figure I didn't have, but I did play with around at Dave's. It was a very new take on Sea Spray, where he's still a hoverboat.
Hell yeah.
But if you looked at him, they don't look anything alike. Apart from the fact that they're both hoverboats. As you mentioned, Big D, Breacher can quote unquote interact with this figure, and by that's being very generous. It just means that there's a bit there's a storage area on the back of Sea Spray where you can
he can park in the back, as can
most Scout figures, I would guess, right?
Yeah, I think who was the black guy from Revenge of the Falling Lion, had the 2 guns on his forearms, and he turned like a 4x4 with guns on the roof of his.
I don't know.
Yeah, there's another
Someone.
scout that does the same thing, and he pairs quite nicely with Sea Spray's repaint.
Okay.
Shall we say? But no, this was when this got announced, and people saw it. They're like, Sea Spray as a Voyager.
Yeah, it's kind of like I would say this is more successful than Power Glide as a Voyager.
Oh yeah, the Power Glide I think was compromised because they did have to fit the electronics into him.
Yeah,
and he was more what they class as an Ultra than a Voyager. In fairness,
that's true. Yeah,
this though is like whoever designed this. You can tell they, Alex Kowalski, I think they say. Clearly, there's some love for Sea Spray going on here because this looks great.
Or at the very least, diving. Man might just like diving.
Well, yeah.
Guess.
I mean, it did lead to what I think is one of the funnier. What was it? The Matt McMoylan's TV Transformers comics he did.
Oh yes.
Where you have G1 Sea Spray basically piloting this as a mech suit. And he's sat in the head. You can see him outside it, and it's adorable.
Yeah. This has neat features on it. It's got a very diver mask on it. It's got flip out flippers, which is again very cute. He's
adorable.
Almost got like movie chicken back legs as well, a little
Nearly,
bit.
yeah.
He sort of has it, but it's not aggressive. Like you wouldn't unless you like look at it and you go, oh, there it is.
It's one of those things where you don't have to have it in that stance if you don't want to.
Yeah, I mean, it's still always going to be there because it's part of the mold, but you can accentuate it if you want, but you don't have to.
Yeah.
There seems to be a couple of ways you can store his harpoon gun trident things, missile launchers, like on the underside of the arms or just in the hands normally. And again, he was interactable with some Voyagers as well. The deluxe class Hailstorm also could snugly fit into the mode, apparently, according to TF Wiki. So that's kind of interesting. I guess he's small enough. Yeah, he'd probably just be hanging in there.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that's really? He has C joints, of course, because why wouldn't he at this point?
Yeah.
Is there anything else that's really stand out?
Although hilariously, the C joints are all kind of in. You can see how they've positioned them on.
Oh yeah, they're on the shoulders, right?
Yeah, but it's just a stack of 3 of them.
I think that's good because in vehicle mode it kind of makes them look like a ladder.
It does. That's clearly what they were going for. But it's just funny that it means that it makes them not terribly useful for sequels because you can't really fit much on them.
You could fit like maybe 4 if you don't use the middle one, but I think the position would just be a bit awkward as well, right? Just because of where they are. Yeah.
But at least he has them on both shoulders, though, so that's nice.
Yeah, symmetrical.
And because of how they sit in the robot mode, in the alt mode, that does mean that there's some functionality to give him some extra weaponry for the alt mode, which is fun.
I like the fact as well that the blue bit, the inflatable bit, the quote unquote inflatable bit, had a different texture to the rest of the robot.
Yeah, that was fun. The fact they did the skirt like that was nice. I
don't know how to describe the texture, but there is a texture to it.
I'd say you could describe it as it's pebbled. It's probably the best way to describe it.
I'll go with that.
It's got a slight roughness that reminds you of
having sex with a dolphin. Nah, sorry, I mean a shark. Dolphins are smooth. My bad. That's what you meant, right?
I'll have to take your word for it. Clearly, Andix and Mandy like to live dangerously.
I only have sex with piranhas. The Japanese version seems pretty similar to the American version, to be fair. Not anything desperately to write home about. Maybe a slightly different color for the yellows.
I think it's a slightly more brighter yellow in place, but I think some of it might just be for light.
It's always hard to tell.
Yeah, actually, no. It is a brighter yellow, and I think they've done the fan blades in yellow as well, rather than black.
Oh yeah, I think that's a bit of a misstep. I think you want the fans like a different color for your casing just to make them pop a bit more personally. But
yeah,
Yeah.
bit odd that the Hasbro version got arguably a better deco than the Takara one, but interesting.
Apparently, sea spray mold was used to make Reveal the Shield Deep Dive, which is a strange coloring of black and slightly desaturated army green.
Yeah, see, I always took this to be basically this was them doing a bit of a tribute to the old killer whale hovercraft from G.I. Joe.
I was thinking it. I mean, they say it's a hero, like they say it's an Autobot, but this looks like a villain. Even though, yes, it is. It's clearly. Well, I don't think it's clearly. I think it's a good assumption to think that it is the whale from G.I. Joe.
Yeah,
but it does look like a bad guy.
Some of it in Transformers Land, those are more bad guy colors. It must be said, but nearly.
I think it's mainly because of the black head. Like there's a lot of black. There's the black legs, the black forearms, the black head, and the black engines with the red trim. Gives off an evil vibe to me.
That's very true. Yeah.
I don't know how you make it heroic, but it's a good color scheme. Would you say it's a better color scheme than Sea Spray?
Oh,
maybe if
possibly,
you're not going for the Sea Spray.
I mean, I own both of these, so I'm clearly the target audience for it. I'm the sucker who bought it twice. But I like that Sea Spray's deco is not purely a one-to-one recreation of his G1 deco. It's got it's got all the spots in there, but it's like I've said before, it's taken a G1 design and it's iterated on it. It's given it a new twist, which works really nicely.
And if you if you want to say it's not Sea Spray, that would be okay as well, because you could look at it and say that's someone else.
But then they've given us this deco, which, although it's not a complete one-to-one recolor of Sea Spray, because some of the apps are in different locations. So the skirt has some metallic on Sea Spray, but it's not on this one. This one, the engine pods have that red trim, and there's some other bits and pieces that differentiate the two. So it's nice to have options, you know?
Yeah.
I like having both in my collection, because it means that, like I say, I've got one I've paired with one of the ROTF Legends classes, because that just fit this guy better, because it was a more militaristic color scheme. Or breaches with the Sea Spray. But like I say, it means that you don't have to use him as Sea Spray. He stands in as quite nice as another character. But
friend to Sea Spray, because he has
Yes, bless him.
Mr. White says, "Oh, I met the designer Alex once. A nice guy, but very humble about his work. How dare he? How dare he be humble about his work?" I agree, Mr. White. He's a piece of shit. He should be more arrogant about it. What a twat. And we also have one other recolor of this toy, which was into Octopunch for Shattered Glass for BotCon. Also dubbed Duck Tits. Because for some reason, they're meant to do tentacles on the chest. Unfortunately, they do make an oddly duck-shaped sign on his boobs.
That cannot have gone through without someone realizing, surely.
I don't know. Man, I didn't see it at first, and then I remember around the time we were doing a podcast, it was mentioned, and it's just, you can't help but see duck boobs on this guy.
I can't unsee it now.
No, you never will.
Yeah,
because it's been years since I've looked at this figure as well, and as soon as you look at it, you're like, well, yeah, that's the thing I remember most of all. And it's, to be fair, it's a decent redo to make an Octopunch, to be fair.
Yeah, especially as there's no retooling in there. It's just a straight paint redeco.
Yeah. The only thing that I think doesn't quite work for Octopunch is the blue on the scuba diving mask thing.
On the rebreather, yeah.
Yeah. That's the only part that doesn't quite work, because obviously Octopunch's head was a diver's helmet. There was no blue on the face at all. So
I think this is one instance where it would have been nice if they could have gone that extra mile for a new head sculpt, but I think
that would have been cool. Really cool.
Yeah.
Like a proper diver helmet on it would have been sick.
As I said, the colors though are perfectly Octopunch. Because no one else has Octopunch's colors, let's be honest. He's a weird dude.
He's very much of his time period design-wise.
But yes, you could tell the 90s were coming in strong.
Yes. You know what would be neat? I'd like to see someone paint up a Warhammer army in this color scheme.
You know what's really funny though? You saying that. I saw someone, Colorforge, put a picture up on their Facebook page yesterday.
Oh yeah.
Someone had primed some cafe models, first using their Rogue Hobbies hot pink, and then Xenofold it with their midwinter blue.
Oh, okay.
To get like that what's the word? It's the style that Suggs uses in a lot of her stuff. Yeah, you know what I mean? That very vibrant. God, I've forgotten what the term for it now is.
Is it kind of the neon effect?
Synthwave
yeah,
effect.
Okay. Yeah,
yes.
I know what you're talking about. Sorry, yeah.
And I've actually been, and it's not a million miles away from this how it ends up looking, where you have that almost minty blue over the top of that hot pink in the recesses, and because it's a Xenophile, the pink's actually coming up from below as well at an angle. And I must admit, I looked at it and I thought, ooh, I wonder if I could use that on my Votan once I got all them built.
Oh yeah, potentially.
That could be a nice, quick way just to get the basics down, and then maybe go at it with some contrast over the top to see what effects come out of it.
Mr. White says, ooh, the Alpha Legion without the Hydra, but with tentacles and this color scheme. Chop off the duck tits and grow another grows back. Oh God. 2 more ducks shall replace those. So are you saying, Mr. White, that this would very, very quickly become the 3-titted woman from Total Recall, and then perhaps even beyond that? So many duck boobs, so little time. Yeah, it was a good color scheme, funny duck boobs. Yeah, I like it. And the last figure,
it's a good, isn't it? Just a nice toy at the end of the day.
Solid figure. The last one, who I don't think looks as good as Duck Tits, is Highbrow, who is not Highbrow from G1. This is Hunt for the Decepticon. Voyager Highbrow transforms into a World War II styled, reminiscent of the Lockheed P-38 Lightning, which is an American plane.
It was, but it was an American plane where you had 2 engines on outriggers, and that's cool.
Yeah, but it's
so we give them a pass on that one,
I suppose. To be fair, this is an interesting looking robot. The head, the head reminds me of a villain from something, but I can't remember where from.
I mean, there's a bit of Iron Man going on. I do like how they've replicated the idea of flying goggles that just flip down. That's cute. I dig that.
That's a neat idea. Did you have this mold? I've never had this before.
I do. I have Highbrow.
Oh, what do you think of it? How is he?
He's fun. The propellers on the arms is a bit awkward because they've got a mechanism and you push the engines down and they do spin.
Okay.
But at least they do compress into single blades to take up a little less space.
Does it make the arms heavy? I mean, I'm guessing the shoulders are ratchet jointed or something, right?
Yeah, they don't sag or anything. He's got quite solid joints, in fairness. Quite a stable figure to move around in. And you can get some decent old poses. I'm not sure. I think he does have a heel spur they've not pulled out on this one.
It wouldn't be the first time, to be fair. Yeah, because he's got basically no heel, at least in this image. I'm like, that's unlikely.
And it's not on any of the others, annoyingly. But I don't think that actually makes any difference because he doesn't really have a lot of back kibble, if any. So it doesn't really affect him in that way. I mean, the biggest drawback is you can see in some of the other figures how they pose it with the engines that on the forearms. They just tend to get a little bit in the way from time to time.
Yeah.
But it's not a massive deal breaker. It's kind of the most egregious compromise the figure asks you to make. You know.
Do you think it would have been better if the figure didn't have that gimmick? And maybe you could have instead of the gimmick being there, you could have pulled off the engines and stuck them on the machine guns.
Yeah, that probably wouldn't have been a bad idea, in fairness.
Yeah.
But this is when Voyagers, they were putting things like this in there. So
I think the only thing that strikes me as something I'm not a huge fan of is obviously painted grey plastic, because again, there's a lot of it on the figure. And I'm not sure baby blue works with this green desperately well.
I mean, it's basically, this is how a lot of aircraft at the time were being painted. You'd have a blue underside and a green top. Yeah, because the idea is that you're camouflaging. The green is for camouflage from the top.
That makes
sense. If you're looking down, and the blue is camouflage from below. Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds daft, and then you play someone. It's like, oh no, yeah, okay.
Yeah, if I look up at the sky is blue. If I look down at the ground is green. So yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
It's one of those things in military circles. It's one of those things where it adds extra seconds potentially to identification. So
yeah, and that can save your life, obviously.
Yeah, so it's nice that they have tried to replicate a real world deco on it. It's not a 1-for-1 real world plane, because the real version didn't have miniguns on the wings, for example.
Yeah, I don't think we have I don't think we have miniguns that big, do we?
Yeah.
Also, you don't want to be shooting those. Why wouldn't you want to shoot those miniguns, Big D?
Look, they've had interrupters since World War One. There's ways to fire through propellers.
I just like the idea of shooting your own propellers off, especially with a minigun that fires pretty quickly.
Yeah,
it looks cool though. It's a toy. No one fucking cares. It looks cool.
Yeah, but the fact that you have 2 miniguns that he can actually hold as well.
Yes,
that's fun. That's cool.
Not sci-fi guns either. Just like full miniguns. That's fun.
It's like everyone else pulls out laser cannons. He just goes, parry this, casual.
Yeah, I dare you. It says with the cockpit shell with the cockpit shell halves splitting open and forming the wings. At the same time revealing the thruster attachment underneath the main cockpit body, which then flip down the cockpit kibble on his back, turning into a jetpack. So he has a jetpack as well.
Yeah,
he's fun.
basically the Rocketeer.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Which is
he got a couple of redos. One was into Generation. Who the fuck is this? Generations Power Dive, not Power Glide. Which has a new head, it seems like.
Yeah.
This is a weird color scheme, but it's kind of interesting. I don't remember ever seeing this.
I saw it when it was announced, but I never saw it on the shelves anywhere because it was a Toys R Us Asian exclusive. So it was
that makes more sense.
Pain to get hold of.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'd forgotten he had a whole new head sculpt as well,
and still has the flip down gimmick. It seems like, does he? It looks like he does.
It does. Yeah.
So that's nice. Color scheme wise, he's gone for an incredibly dark green, unpainted grey plastic, purple weapons, very very purple weapons, red propellers, and then the back of the I guess where the cockpit is for the plane is painted unpainted grey plastic, and then a bit of blue and a shark face painted on it.
Yes.
Which is an interesting idea. I appreciate that they're trying to make it more World War II-ish. It does look a little bit messy, but I'll say more for me a little bit more interesting than highbrow. But I might prefer highbrow's face more. I think I like that head sculpt more than this one.
I can see that. I mean, I think I'd have been quite happy to have this and highbrow, just because you have 2 characters that are basically counterparts of one another. Yeah. You can imagine, because of the whole vibe of both having the flying mask gimmick and everything, you could imagine them being these 2 old adversaries dogfighting through the ages.
Yeah.
It's one that if I'd had the chance to get it, I probably wouldn't say no, but I wouldn't actively chase it down or anything.
It'd probably be quite expensive as well if it's a nation exclusive, like you say.
Especially nowadays, sadly.
Mr. White says, you guys are right. The feet aren't transformed correctly there. Well, it doesn't look like they're transformed correctly here on this one either, oddly enough.
Yeah, I don't think any of them are transformed correctly, in fairness, on the feet, which is...
That's odd. The
Interesting.
last one is Obsidian, which was there were 2 Obsidians. At least there are 2 Obsidians here, done for BotCon. Why are there 2 Obsidians? Originally, Obsidian was revealed to having a green toy accurate color scheme, but it was later revised to be the cartoon accurate. So let's have a look at the toy accurate version. So this was,
Ooh.
oh yeah, you can tell that was the prototype
Oh,
version.
Jesus.
Yeah, I mean that
My
is what
eyes.
the toy. That's how the toy was colored. So it makes sense.
It was, yes. I
Um,
mean, I would actually been quite happy to see this one released because, lordy, you can't forget that one.
No,
Crumbs.
it is very bright green as Obsidian was, and it does have the new head. But I can see why they went for the more muted colors because that's the toy. Sorry, that's the cartoon version, and people obviously want the toy. Sorry,
Yeah.
they want the cartoon version, not the toy version. I would say.
And it's also it feels a bit more into like a Generations movieverse sort of vibe as well because it's a bit more muted. But you still have those really nice golden yellows, which are really nicely painted where they're painted, and it's a nice plastic they've used for it.
Yeah.
Coupled with the teal, it kind of works quite nicely. It's still clearly
transformed correctly, or should those be? Or should the engines like clip into the elbow joint there?
They're supposed to clip upwards, but I think they've just tried to make it look a little different. And it works. You don't have to have it.
It looks
you
a
can
little
do it
bit
either
awkward.
way.
It looks a little bit awkward because it looks like he can't decide where his elbow is meant to be, like his or his forearm should be. That's why I asked, because it looked a bit odd.
Yeah, but it's fine. And they gave him a new head sculpt as well.
And it's a very good Obsidian head sculpt as well from Beast Machines.
It is. So fair play on that score.
I'd say, I mean, because it's part of the figure, it makes sense why they colored it this way. But having the engines a different color to make them pop, maybe orange, the orange of the stripes might have been a bit nicer, but then it would have broken up the toy, the cartoon color aspect of the figure.
Well, what about if they just had a stripe around the engine housing, like he's got on
the back of him?
Yeah.
Yeah, that could have worked.
Do you think that? Because that would tie into that little trim they've got around the top of the chest on those vents as well.
I'm just thinking it would have been cheaper depending on how the molding worked on this figure. If you just molded it in the orange plastic and it could be a paint up, you wouldn't have to worry about. But again, it depends how they even make these figures and how the figures are like molded in the machines and whatnot.
And like you said, it would have broken up the lines of the alt mode because the engine housing is supposed to be part of the wing pylon. So
but it's good. Do you think this is the best version of the figure in terms of looks, or do you prefer highbrow, or do you like the other one more? I think this is my preferred version, to be fair.
That's fair. I think I prefer highbrow overall, just because he was a bit different. I think because we're kind of a bit lacking for Obsidian and Striker in any form.
True, yes.
I would love to have had this just to fill that gap in my collection. But I'm quite happy not to spend BotCon prices on it.
Oh, certainly. Yeah, certainly. Yeah, to be fair, I think if we get more Obsidians and Strikers in the future, I think it'll be just like the last time we got Striker, and it'll just be a redo of somebody else into Striker.
Yeah.
It'll be half-assed because I don't think they're confident enough to sell Striker or Obsidian or any Beast Machines thing as their own individual thing, really. Well, I guess the closest we've had is like the Legends Beast Machine Cheeto, right?
Yeah, that really didn't sell because it was a core class and no one wanted him in core class. Same with Energon Megatron. No one wanted it in core class.
And to be fair, core class Megatron, Energon Megatron wasn't very good either. Yeah.
And the frustration is that they look at it and say, oh, people aren't buying the character. And they don't think they're not buying it because of what's being presented. They think we're not buying it because no one gives a damn about the character. It's like, no,
wrong.
People give a damn and they want a decent version of the character.
Yep.
So.
And that's the way of things. XLHead says, we need new toys for all the Viacon generals. Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and there's no reason why in 2026 there isn't engineering that could facilitate them now.
Yeah, I mean, we're slowly creeping through the Beast Wars lineup. So we've had...
so slowly.
Quick Strike Isn't Quick Strike the only really extant member of the core Beast Wars cast that we haven't had, who's now out?
We don't have Transmetal Tarantulas, if you
Well, that's a good
mean
point.
that.
For transmetals, we need.
Yeah, most of the Transmetal line has just not been touched.
Yeah.
Season 1,
It's-
I think we've got all of them.
Yeah, all of season 1. Season 2, we just need transmetal. Well, we need transmetals for.
Everything.
Yeah. Season 3.
Season 3 is pretty much just season 2, though, to be fair.
But we
It's
have
just
had
got taken
Tiger
a while.
Hawk.
Yep.
We've had Tiger Hawk. We've had Transmetal 2 Megatron. We've had Transmetal 2 Prime.
Yes.
Although Transmetal 2 Prime could be nice to see them take another swing at. But
Yeah, because that was like Power of the Primes, wasn't it?
yeah, I mean, mine's got all the DNA upgrades, and it's not good when you have to spend like 3 times the price of a figure just on upgrades to make it look like you want it to.
Yeah, it's almost a feeling that Hasbro kind of leans a little bit on that in some ways.
Yeah.
Kind of make up for the fact.
Mm.
We also have a thrilling 30s Tankor. Yeah, I'd like a better Tankor, though, to be fair.
Yeah.
It wasn't great. And also Rampage and Death Judge. Yeah, obviously they would need to be redone. So there's a lot of Beast Wars that needs to be covered. A lot of Beast Wars.
I mean, I would love to see a better version of Transmetal 2 Cheetor, because I've always liked his design, but the original toy had some. It's not even the toy. The toy's just got a couple of weird choices they made in the design, especially mainly the elbows.
Okay.
Because they're much more limiting than you'd expect.
Oh.
Because of how they designed it, you can't really stretch the arms out.
Right.
Put them straight.
Right.
So you're limited to like having just a swivel rather than a proper pivot. So I mean, there's been a few third parties do it. I've seen a third party Transmetal 2 Cheetor, but it's masterpiece prices. So
well.
I'd love to see like a deluxe or Voyager class take on that design.
Maybe one day. Maybe.
Well, like you say, they're getting through it slowly, and we're getting odd bits of other bits of the franchise here and there. So you never know when they're going to surprise you or something. Perhaps for Brods.
Yeah, we'll see. Time will tell, as with all things.
Indeedy.
And that's it. We haven't obviously done all of Reveal the Shield. There's still like all the deluxes to do, all the Voyagers to do, and there was no leaders for Reveal the Shield. Might need to combine Reveal the Shield with something else, probably Generations, I suppose, because I think we moved from Reveal the Shield over to a full, not Generations line, but it would be Generations after this line, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
something like that.
Because we're not too far off having to start talking about the thrilling 30 stuff, in fairness.
Yeah.
So we're kind of in that era now of peak chug, in a way.
Yeah, definitely. So we'll be doing that not next week, obviously, but the week after, I suppose. So D, where can people find you on the internet if you want to be found? Thank you for coming on by, of course.
Sorry, my brain just went blank for a second there.
Where can people find you on the internet?
Oh, sorry. Yes. When my brain's in gear, I am all over socials as David Kelly. Look for this handsome visage drawn by Fluff and Hammer's own Mr. Gruff, Adam Nickel. I'm his regular co-host on the Patreon exclusive Deeper Dive show on the Fluff and Hammer, where we find an article from White Dwarf or associated publications of years gone by and talk about it, around it, and try very hard to stay on topic and normally fail miserably.
Okay.
And then alongside Mr. White, I'm one of the co-hosts on Fluff and Busters, our movie commentary podcast, where we pick a film and we put it on and we talk about it, around it, and just have a bit of a natter. As the channel tagline goes, talking through the movies, as they say. We've just put up Judge Dredd. We've just recorded Judge Dredd. Mr. White finished editing our Lord of the Rings series and put the last part of Return of the King up on Friday, just gone. So if you ever want to watch the Lord of the Rings extended editions and fancy listening to a pair of aging nerds yammer about them, there's 10 hours of it. if you're that way inclined.
Okay.
Mr.
White says Dread is coming.
Yes, yeah. But that was a fun one to do. I think we're going to try and do Robocop again soon because our recording went AWOL on that one. So going to will swing.
Will Mr. White say that he is the law in it? Will you say it on the show?
I think I might have said it.
Okay.
Just because you kind of have to when Bly turns up.
Oh yeah, of course.
But yeah, that's me basically.
Cool. You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube as Decade Andy. Doing streams and whatnot. We are on the Moonbase 2 forums, Twitter, Twitch, and iTunes, and Libsyn, and all that jazz as Moonbase 2 Transformers podcast. If you want to join us on the Sunday, we're here at 9:30 in the evening UK time to talk about Transformers. Thank you again to all the lovely people who came this week and chatted in the chat. Much appreciated. You can also find us on the CC Weebly, the ccbunker.weebly.com. And other places as well. The Moonbase 2 Transformers podcast. You'll probably find us. It should, hopefully.
Yeah.
We'll be back next week talking about the news, assuming there is news, which I don't know if there is any news.
Fingers crossed.
Has there been any news this week?
They announced the DNA announced their upgrade kit for
the MPG-17 Optimus Prime style gen. I have no idea
that
what that is.
Isn't that the one that's got all the gubbins from across the life of the franchise on the G1? Yeah,
it looks like it.
Yeah, so this one's got the movie style arm blades. And I know DNA announced their Alpha Trion upgrade kit for the Age of Prime's toy.
Gonna have to have a talk about that because that does not look like a masterpiece, really. Okie dokie. Yeah. Hopefully there'll be some other saucy news during the week, but who knows? We'll find out then. Mr. White says McDonald Transformers style Happy Meal toys are back this week. Oh my god!
Yeah,
well, big news for me, says Mr. White. They got Happy Meal toys. I didn't see this.
Yeah, they're coming back, baby.
Like what kind of Happy Meal toys? What style are they in?
Do you remember the original Transformers Happy Meal toys?
Oh, the McDonald's branded ones.
Yeah,
it's like a burger and stuff like that. Yes.
Yep.
It's them.
Yes. Oh, Mr. Gruff posted a picture, and he's of two minds, I think.
How is this not on TFW? It's not on TFW at all. Bullshit.
I don't think it was ever really a thing that did very well in the States because I think it was much more a UK thing.
You fucking Americans, you do nothing right. You bullshit. Is bullshit. Total horseshit. That sucks. Yeah. So what is the assumption that they just found a factory full of them or something? Went, oh well,
no, I did
put them out.
But
I didn't even know McDonald's still did toys. To be honest, I thought they were done with that for some reason.
Yeah, they still do. Hell, they've started doing adult Happy Meals.
That's depressing.
With yeah.
That's depressing. That sounds kind of sad, to be honest.
Yeah, I bought one last year just to see what it was like, and the thing it gave was something from Minecraft, and I have no clue because I don't do Minecraft.
Why did you get it? Was it just for the experience kind of thing?
Yeah, just to see what it was like because I was going to get McDonald's for my lunch anyway, so I thought, might as well just get back and go for that.
Yeah, why not?
It's still a regular adult meal, just with a
with a toy.
Yeah.
No,
so
fair enough.
Why not?
See, I wondered if they'd skimp out and give you a child-sized portion for a meal or something like that. But it's actually a proper meal. It's just it's a Happy Meal, quote unquote. It just comes with a toy as well. Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right.
It was weird.
XL Head says McChangeables! Exclamation mark, and then Mr. White says 16 new figures called changeable Happy Meal toys. Whereabouts is this on the Fluff?
Jesus.
Big D.
Gruff posted a picture up about it, I think.
Whereabouts? What's it under?
I think it was just in general, to be fair.
General.
It
Okay.
was a few days ago.
Oh, fuck! I'm not gonna bother then. I was gonna look for the show, but I'm not gonna waste time doing that now. Fuck that noise. I'll look on Google after I'm done with the show. That's what I'll do. If you want to find out, chat, you'll have to do some home research yourself. I can't hold your hand while you pee, so you're gonna have to do this yourself. Okay. All right. Good. Well, thank you, Big D, for joining me this week.
No worries. Always happy to have a yammer.
Yeah, and we'll see you. Well, I'll see you next time, and then Big D will see you in like 2 weeks' time. All right.
Yeah.
Well, bye bye, everybody.